kind of went on from there, Brooks.
12 seconds in, it was Tyler Jurich getting his first of the night. He would also get the final 6th goal of the game for a grand total of 2 on the night for 22, dressed in green and black. One note on the return last week, Gavin Yates comes back into the lineup after missing about a month and a half, and he has 3 assists in his first game back into the Black Bears lineup, and he gets the 3rd star of the game. Tyson Kirkby, the 2nd star with 2 goals and 2 assists, and a fight as well with the good old-fashioned Gordie Howe hat trick, and Tyler Jurich got the 1st star. So you got to see a lot of the main guys at the beginning of the season who were producing do that once again now in December as we get ready to approach the halfway point.
Yeah, Brooks, it's always exciting when you can have your entire top line as the 3 stars of the game. That means something's going awful right for you. You know, having Gavin Yates back in the lineup and him immediately contributing on offense, giving 3 assists, being the 3rd star of the game, is a huge boost. Didn't look like there was any rust to him, anything at all, that really he just hopped right back in and fit exactly where he had started out the season before that injury, before Halloween.
And as you mentioned, seeing your top line produce like that, in fact, Alex, all 3 players on the top line, Kirkby, Jurich, and Yates combined for 11 points on the night. And that's our look at Black Bears Rewind. You can join the Booster Club next time you're out at the home game. We know we have a lot of fans who are steered away because of the snow in the area. We hope you're doing fine. We want to thank you for tuning in to the radio broadcast and also for our friends watching at home on YouTube. We're going to take a quick timeout, come back, and when we do, we're taking a look inside the Tully's Coaches Corner with my pregame discussion with head coach Gary Gill. Don't go anywhere, folks. We keep going on the Triple Cities Family Dental pregame show after these messages on Fox Sports 1430 in Binghamton. Welcome back into the Triple Cities Family Dental pregame show. Brooks Hill and Alex Jones up here in the Jeff Keyes Auto Sales broadcast booth. Now time to take a deep look inside the Tully's Coaches Corner, and we sat down with head coach Gary Gill pregame quickly to catch his thoughts on coming in for what could be a 5th straight win for the Black Bears. Take a listen, everybody. Now time for the Tully's Coaches Corner. Just a reminder that the next Tully's Good Times with Coach Show will be January 3rd at 6 p.m. at the Tully's on the Vestal Parkway location. Coach Gill, the Black Bears come home on Friday night to take on the Watertown Wolves for the 2nd time in this building and 2nd time this season for that matter. What is going to be the key tonight for the Black Bears to skate away with 3 points?
Get pucks deep, get behind them, use our speed to the outside, and drive middle lane.
And Black Bears starting to click a little bit more on the power play this season as we near the halfway point, operating just under 26% on the year. What's been the reason that the special teams has seen a little uptick in production the last couple of weeks here?
I mean, we've been working hard at it, getting pucks moving, getting pucks into the zone, trying to score off rushes, and confidence. You know, when you're putting pucks in the net, you get confident. And, you know, the guys are all obviously clicking on all cylinders right now, so it's good for them.
And Riley McVeigh getting the start in between the pipes tonight. And McVeigh did not play last weekend, but I assume you thinking Riley's going to have a good his outing here tonight, and he's ready to bounce back and show his showcase in the lineup again.
Yeah, he's been great. You know, he works hard and he stops a lot of pucks, and he's ready to go. He's a true professional.
All right, Coach, thank you for your time. And that is the voice of Black Bears head coach Gary Gill. And more to come on the Triple Cities Family Dental pregame show after these messages. Now time. This is from TI to Fort Minor. Great. They cut to the camera too early. They cut to the camera too early.
Oh, yeah. Are these starters?
Yeah. Second line. Welcome back into the Triple Cities Family Dental pregame show. Triple Cities Family Dental makes your smile their priority. You can schedule an appointment today by calling them at 607-545-4148. We've taken a look inside the coach's corner and a look at Black Bears Rewind. Now, Alex, it's time for the injuries and scratches. And one injury to make note of, Gavin Abbott taking a puck off the wrong part of the foot yesterday in practice. He is a healthy extra tonight, probably just erring on the side of caution, which is always a good thing. And very quickly as we go through the forwards, Josh Newberg, also an extra scratch, and a couple of defensemen, Jake Schultz unavailable tonight, and JT Walters not part in the lineup as well.
And Brooks, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how this kicks off for the Black Bears, how they kick off against a team they know so well in Watertown.
Or have the rest of the starting lineups after these messages. Puck Drop is coming up on Fox Sports 1430 in Binghamton. Welcome back in for another edition of Black Bears Hockey. We just got done with the presentation of the national anthem. And now it's time for the starting lineups for the Binghamton Black Bears. It's line number 2, Brett Parker on the wing, Nikita Ivashkin opposite him, Austin Thompson in the center. And on the blue line, it's Mattu, Boy Lar, and Justin Coachman from Rochester, New York. And in between the pipes, it's Riley McVeigh. Opposite for Watertown, it'll be Tellstrom out in the forward group as well tonight, along with Lincoln Gingrich, Colton McGuire, and a newly acquired Shai Rabinowitz, once upon a time a Black Bear for 2 games, wearing number 12 dressed in white tonight. And number 71, Matt Brown, and former Black Bear Owen Liskowitz in the pipes. And we are ready to go for puck drop here in the first period, brought to you by BAE Systems. It's the opening faceoff, and we are underway here in Binghamton. Coachman tries to throw it up to center ice, and the Black Bears will fumble with it. Watertown shoves it back into the Black Bears zone, and Boilar misfires on one, but Ivashkin with soccer style one. Up to the blue line, chipped away by Brett Parker. And Austin Thompson laying on a little bit of a heavy hit onto Lincoln Gingrich down low. Black Bears won't have an offensive chance come of it, as Watertown is the first team to it. And they just throw it back out to neutral ice. Watertown already rolling a line change, and an open ice hit tried to be laid on to Thompson. Gingrich, though, the one getting down to the ice. And speaking of ice, this is the game's first icing. It goes against Watertown, and Binghamton will get some fresh bodies on the ice. And there'll be some tired bodies out there for the team dressed in white, Alex.
Yeah, Brooks, one thing I noticed right off the bat, too, is Rabanowitz gave Ivashkin a nice, healthy love tap to the ankle right off the faceoff. A little chirping happened beforehand, too.
Top line out for the Black Bears. They lose that faceoff. Puck will be floated out to neutral ice. Fitzgerald tried to pass it to himself in a toe drag move put on by Harabchek, and Harabchek has his shot blocked by McVeigh, who's now credited with the game's first save. Black Bears throw it back out to neutral ice, and Baker will touch up with it. And Kyle Powell trying to give his man a little bit of a rough ride. Good to see Kyle still firing on all cylinders with 10 assists this season. Now Powell crossing the line on sides. Has it roll off his forehand on the right side. Starting pass for Kirkby. Not a good angle to make a shot on goal as it goes off the glass. And Yates, first man to it to retreat after it. Kept in at the point by Powell. And I believe Liskowitz got a glove to that one. It hops out. And now Chase throws it off of the glass, bouncing it ahead. Pawed down legally by Harabchek. Black Bears touch up in their own end with it, but Harabchek comes away, and he has it back checked away by Jurich. Now Tyson Kirkby on his forehand going to the outside, separated by a great body check by McGuire. Watertown escapes harm once again. And Bussell, the Black Bears are off sides. Yates doesn't know it, and the linesman will blow that one down. And we also get a chance to highlight new Watertown Wolves head coach, Alex Steven Esso.
Yeah, so comes from the NA3HL, last with the Texas
Brahmas.
And comes with a lot of experience in the junior league, so it'll be interesting to see what he brings to behind the bench.
And you know, Coach Gill spent a fair amount of time in the juniors as well, and so far his transition into Binghamton has been pretty good. We want to wish Coach Esso the best of luck moving forward. Cutting gets taken down in his own end, and then somebody giving him a little tap on the way back through. Black Bears in a little bit of miscombobulation right now as they try to get to their spots. Yellowney throws a wrist shot that McVeigh will just cover up, and Lewis and Cutting will make sure nobody gets in front of McVeigh and get in his blue paint before he melts it down.
Yeah, Brooks, that was Yelney took advantage of a little lull in the action where no one seemed to be paying attention, including McVeigh. McVeigh swallows up the rebound.
You know, Alex, we saw that last time out on Saturday in the second period. The Black Bears kind of just lowing their way through. Luckily, they had enough of a lead to kind of get by. Black Bears are off sides as they touch up. Bussell fires it off his own teammate, Anderson, who is camped out right at the blue line. But that's the thing that we've noticed a little bit so far on the season is sometimes, you know, the Black Bears have such offensive firepower that they maybe just fall asleep defensively for a couple of minutes at a time. And right there on that last shift, they definitely did that. Face off one forward by Watertown, but Parker will be the first man to it. It was a set play with the defenseman lining up on the wing. Coachman gives his man a rough ride down low, and Austin Thompson throws a shoulder as well. Coachman clearing the crease out in front. Referees say to play on. And so far, it's been Watertown with all of the offensive chances so far. A little bit of a misfire by Brown. Binghamton gets to it. Thompson's camped out at the red line. Doesn't get it deep enough, but Brett Parker will. Watertown will change. Liskowitz sets it up on a tee, and Brett Parker gets on the forecheck and a little bit too overzealous right there, as the Wolves are just able to reverse it back below. And Thompson with a good stick, trying to give Watertown a hard time exiting the zone. This is what Binghamton's been so good at, is applying that forecheck in the defensive third. Parker chips it up in the air, played down by Thompson. Thompson drops it back for Parker, but Parker didn't have it. Good pinching though by Powell. Powell centering pass, nobody home in the slot, but Fitzgerald punching from his blue line. Gets it down low. Thompson wide of the target. Black Bears evening up the shots on goal, 2-2 now, thanks to Kyle Powell on that last shift. Fitzgerald just plays it off the boards for Parker down low. Parker and Lord get acquainted with each other in the face-off dot. Parker loses a little bit of an edge, and it's played out for his defensive partner, Kyle Powell from Fitzgerald. Thompson knows that he's at the end of the shift. He's waiting for some fresh bodies to get on the ice, but he throws a backhander a little bit too far ahead of Jurich. And Black Bears is still in the midst of a partial line change. Powell and Fitzgerald circling back down low. We saw the Black Bears work a ton on breakouts this week and completing short passes. Excellent self-pass by Tyson Kirkby to himself, but he couldn't corral the loose change, and away go the Wolves. They dump it in down low. Greenwich just backhands it, and McVeigh will be the first man to it inside the trapezoid. Not that it means anything in the FPHL, but it's nice that it's there. Something to talk about. Yates goes far ice to Tyler Jurich, but a little bit too soft of a pass. Definitely looked like he topped that one. Looks like me on a sand wedge on the 18th tee. Yates will sidestep a hit check, and McGuire will throw an extra shove on the way through. Now Yates looks over to the bench, knows that it's his time to get off the ice next time he gets to the door. Puck gets deflected into the Watertown bench. 15-11 left to go here, and we're still looking for the game's first goal.
Yeah, Brooks, it's been in a lot of up-down ice play so far. Nobody's really been able to connect any passes on either end of the ice. It feels like the first team to get their first real cycle and real shot, but also Colin Fitzgerald adds so much to your attack as an offensive defenseman. He was able to save 3 different chances on that first shift on what should have been pucks that scooted over the blue line.
Watertown had a cherry picker in the form of Brown, camped out at the blue line, but it rolls off his tape. Black Bears go the other way. Gino D'Angelo is the extra forward tonight. He's the first man in. The hometown guy gets to a loose puck and plays it over to Bussell, who takes a big hit and knocks his man down to the floor. And then Taylor Cutting with a little bit of an extra shove out on the newest member of Watertown, Shai Rabenwitz. Now Black Bears go D to D. It hops over the stick of Cutting, and he's just forced to wrap it around the boards. MJ Merkel, the defensive partner with Taylor Cutting tonight on the third defensive group. Harabchek toes the line, has his wrist shot blocked, and Mac Lewis gives his man a rough ride. That's 19 on 19 right there. Now Trevor Lord chips it in down low. McVeigh comes out, sets it up on a tee for Cutting, who will reverse it over for Bussell. Bussell heavily pressured in his own end, gets pinned up against the wall by 91 in white, Michael Mann, but the Black Bears will get it out of their own end. Brett Parker trying to accelerate at the last second, but Watertown dodges a bullet and they go the other way. Pass too far out ahead of Harabchek, and this is icing against Watertown. We're gonna go to a TV timeout. We're getting Alex's thoughts on the other side of this commercial. You're listening to Black Bears Hockey on Fox Sports 1430 in Binghamton. Welcome back to the action. You're listening to Black Bears Hockey on Fox Sports 1430 in Binghamton and also on YouTube. And now it's time to take a look at tonight's goaltending matchup brought to you by our friends over at the Thompson & Johnson Equipment Company. It's our old friend Owen Liskowitz, who is now 3-6-0 on the season. Since he's been with Watertown, goals averaged against at .316 and save percentage at .855. Opposite him, former teammate, current Black Bear, Riley McVeigh, who is 5-1-0 on the year. Save percentage at .918 and .261 goals average against, as the Black Bears almost cut into the scoring column right there off of the face-off. And that's tonight's goaltending matchup brought to you by Thompson & Johnson Equipment Company, elevating your expectations. Puck comes back and the Black Bears in, and Coachman just passes it to himself off of the boards, throws it over the glass. Black Bears can go 3-on-2 if they hurry. Ivashkin trying to get it back on his forehand. Centering pass just can't get into the grasp of Thompson. Brett Parker throws a little bit of a weak wrist shot on target, and Liskowitz will chest that one away. Watertown now throws it cross ice into the open corner, and Coachman directs it off the back of the net. And now Boilar. Discussion of a lot of people today. The French Canadian meeting some new friends here from Quebec today. Good to see people making friends here in Black Bears postgame state tonight with season ticket holders. Looked like Brett Parker got caught with a little bit of a high stick.
But Brooks, I think that's friendly fire. I think that's going to be 100% if you go back and look on that.
I think so too. If the Heinz Energy replay at the next stoppage can show it, I definitely thought he caught his own teammate's stick. Turnover though, and Tyson Kirkby finds Gavin Yates, but Yates gets separated from the puck by Carter. And now Watertown again throwing it into the open corner. That's a couple of times that they've done that now. Centering pass, looks like it hits Fitzgerald right on the inside of the knee. Not a lot of padding there. That's the worst spot to catch a puck. And Fitzgerald is slow to get over to the bench, but nonetheless gets off on his own power. Black Bears again trying to get into the zone, but no quarter given by Watertown. Gingrich crosses the line on sides. Wrist shot blocked on the way through, and cutting with the heavy hit. Rebound, McVeigh makes the save.
Butcher's going to get his pound of flesh, Brooks.
Black Bears start to come the other way. Tyler Jurich takes a hit to make the play. Gavin Yates has it down low. Stopping and starting is Yates, but he loses control of the puck. Yeleny will just backhand it down low, and Carter Chase that is. Didn't have anybody there right at the beginning, but the Black Bears will take control of the puck after a failed clear into the zone. Tyson Kirkby a little bit too far ahead of him, seeing a little bit of some errant passes so far early on in this one. Yates has it on his forehand in the face-off dot. Yates tries to circle the wagon. He's double teamed down low. Jurich and Kirkby kind of look at each other like which one of us is going to get the puck. Nobody does, and it comes out of the Binghamton end, and the Black Bears have to touch up. Merkel throws it off of Brown, and 40 and Green gets pinned up against the boards, and now Anderson lending a hand. 2-on-1 battle for Binghamton. Lewis trying to backhand it out of the zone. Dangerous play, high slot, wrist shot wide of the target by Harabchek. Southpaw calling for it, and it comes back out to the point, and a heavy wrist shot blocked on the way through by Bussell. 10:50 left to go here in this one. Lewis touching up at the blue line, but no clean entry as Watertown comes all the way back. Trevor Lord takes a hit from Bussell, and Bussell sends his man down to the ice, and that'll get the crowd a little bit back into this one. Thrown in by Merkel, who now skate off for a change. And Watertown trying to exit the zone. Harabchek just throws it into the open corner. Coachman with a little bit of a shove, but he can't keep it in the zone, and it's retreated by Boilar. Circles his own wagon. A lot of open ice for Mathieu Boilar, who finds Bussell. They say no icing. Anderson first man to it. Anderson not having a lot of friends to pass to right now, and that'll allow Watertown to escape. Coachman will just slap it back out to neutral ice. Teams will play patty cake with it. And this is icing against the Black Bears. 9:56 left to go here in this one, and that takes us to another media timeout. We will be back after these messages on Fox Sports 1430 in Binghamton. Ideal Bowling Center is where Binghamton hockey fans bowl with bowling all week long. They have money-saving specials. Ideal is the great place for family, friends, company parties, and special occasions. Ideal Bowling Center is located at 119 Jennings Street and Endicott. There's so much more than just your favorite bowling alley. Shots on goal so far, 3 for Binghamton and 3 for Watertown. This almost seems like a boxing match, Alex, where teams are still trying to feel each other out here in the early rounds.
It does. Also, Brooks, the game within the game, you see, actually on the Heinz Energy replay, you see what we were talking about earlier about the friendly fire high stick.
Looks like Brett Parker is skating by, and yet he got clipped by Austin Thompson. Wrist shot and the kick save made by McVeigh as we get back to the action. A wrist shot, puck becomes available after McVeigh made the save. And now Watertown throwing a couple of chances on. Coachman gives a heavy hit to Deacon Stanzo down low, and Deacon Stanzo, oh, excuse me, that's Maidment. Maidment and Coachman getting acquainted with each other right at the top of the blue paint. Centering pass out in front, in and out of the crease. McVeigh holds the post and makes a leg save, and the Black Bears escape harm with a donut still up on the scoreboard. 2-on-2 though, the other way, Brown and Yeleny. Centering pass out in front, Maidment trying to poke it past McVeigh, and McVeigh stands tall. Yeleny, wrist shot and a kick save made by McVeigh right on cue. Carter throwing it down over to Maidment. Maidment looking for a tip, and it's off of Boilar and into the back of the net. And such an unfortunate play for the Black Bears as McVeigh made so many good saves that shift. A puck that was going wide of the target goes off the defender and hops into the net, and Watertown's up 1-0.
Yeah, Brooks, that's a really unfortunate goal. You got Boilar and Coachman out there. That was a long shift, a minute 30, maybe even 2 minutes. You get some tired legs, and it just chips in, just bounces off the defender on foot. You know, Brooks, from this angle, I don't know if it hit off Boilar. I think it just scooted in.
I think for what I thought, it went off his chest, not his foot. Nonetheless, it's a 1-0 contest in favor of Watertown. And we'll see how the Black Bears, who have
good to see Colin Fitzgerald back out there, Brooks, after taking that one off the knee.
Yep, Fitzgerald back out on the ice. Black Bears back up to 6th defenseman. Fitzgerald will throw this one high. That's going into the stands. Luckily, nobody got hit with it. Not delay of game. That's the good news. We're still looking for the game's first power play opportunity. This looks like it'll be a center ice face-off dropped by the linesman. 8:48 left to go, and now Watertown holding on to a 1-0 lead. Center ice face-off, won back by Harabchek, lending a hand as a winger here tonight. This is icing against Watertown, though, as Coachman's first man to it. No, excuse me, that's Kyle Powell. First man to it.
Brooke, the boys look a little tired tonight. The legs are a little bit slower. They're a little sluggish, slow to the puck. They need to wake up. They need to get going here, because if they're not careful, this Watertown could jump out on them early and often.
Black Bears trying to get their 5th win in a row. Plenty of time. Slap shot put on by Jurch just wide of Liskowitz's net. And Gavin Yates in the face-off dot will steer it down low. Kirkby starts to begin the cycle. Jurch taking his spot. And now a couple of Black Bears all corralled up in the same spot. Jurch down low with it. Right outside the Heinz Energy logo. And Jurch gets separated from the puck, and out comes Watertown. A lot of speed coming from Mann. Mann throws a slap shot. It's wide of the target. Centering pass out in front for Lord, and looking for a backdoor tip. And it looks like Binghamton got a little bit lucky right there, as Mann was still behind the net. Nothing he could do but just get his piece of driftwood out on it. And Black Bears will drop it in at the red line. And they'll roll the change. 7:45 left to go here.
Something I've been noticing, Brooks, McGuire all game has been giving it a little extra. It will be interesting to see next time him and Cutting are actually right now, honestly. They had a little bit of exchange after McGuire put a hit on Church by the blue line, so it'll be interesting to see if those two end up getting together at some point.
Shot put on from the red line. McVeigh will just steer it into the corner. Anderson now reversing it from Merkel. Those two play catch with it, and Anderson getting pinned up against the boards by Maidment. 2-on-2 battle. One of the best things in hockey is watching it pinned up against the board. Crowd beginning to grow a little restless with it. Team's looking for the puck. Comes back to Carter. Now Baker with a lot of space as the defenseman throws it wide, looking for a tip. out in front. Maidment tries to soccer it to a teammate, but instead we just give it up to Mac Lewis. Lewis trying to exit the zone. On the second attempt, he will. Watertown has to touch up, though, as they roll a line change for their forwards. Anderson sends his man down to the ice. That'll get the crowd back in it, but a stretch pass going the other way. Fake pass, looking for more, but the Butcher was right on target to make that takeaway. Black Bears having a hard time gapping up right now. A lot of people open on the back door for Watertown looking for a free tip-in with nobody covering. Anderson tries to backhand it out of the zone. Nobody home. And Merkel will throw it down the length of the ice, and Liskowitz stays put in his net, icing against the Black Bears. And once again, we're running into a situation where there's a lot of tired bodies out on the ice dressed in green.
Yeah, Brooks, that was an incredibly long shift for this group, and it's about to get a little bit longer with the icing. Hopefully, Binghamton come up with a set play here, get the puck either to D'Angelo or Anderson, let them get over center ice and then just dump the puck in, or chase it down on some sort of breakaway.
Face off one back by the Wolves. It gets down low. Cutting had no idea where the puck was. He was getting marked out in front by Baker. And there, Cutting will lay a heavy hit right back on Baker. He might not know where the puck was, but he knew where his man was, and he shoves him into the boards. A little bit of extracurriculars from Cutting, and now Herget in the face of man. Looks like those two would just hash it out with words instead of fists. And now Binghamton can change as McVeigh covers up.
Yeah, Cutting looked like he wanted to sort that out in a different language other than the words. I don't know if man was up for the challenge or the showcase there, Brooks.
We'll see how this game goes along. If the hits keep flying, that's one thing that Binghamton's done a good job of so far, is being clean, physical with the hits. No penalties aside so far. 16 minutes into this one. Watertown's off sides, and now they will listen to the linesman. Coachman crosses the blue line and the red line, just throws it in deep. Ivashkin and Thompson chasing after it. Liskowitz out to play it for Greenwich, but taken away. Thompson in the slot trying to find Ivashkin. Ivashkin can't settle it down. Gets it back to Boilar. Boilar, wrist shot. Liskowitz makes the save with the paddle. And the Wolves come out to neutralize Harabchek. Will just wrap it in down low. McVeigh leaving it for Boilar. Boilar running out of real estate. He can only chip it away. That just gives it right back to Watertown as Parker's the only man in for the Black Bears, and Maimon with a clean exit out of his defensive zone. Liam Little, 29, dressed in white, stopping and starting. A great seal by Coachman to take it away, but a costly turnover, though. Here comes Maimon. Centering pass out in front, looking for more is Watertown. Black Bears do a good job of gapping up. High slot shot put up above the cage. And Watertown with all the chances here in period number one. Yeleny toes the blue line. Wrist shot played down by a hand by Parker. No one gets to it, though. That slap shot took a redirect on the way through. And Parker takes a little bit of a nudge, and he will just shake his head in displeasure. Get down. No icing on the diving effort from Chase Carter just to make sure his team can change. They try to find Tyler Jurich on the home run pass. They can't, but Watertown has to throw it back in as they touch up on the delayed offsides. Shots are 10 for Watertown, 5 for Binghamton, and not a good home period so far for the guys dressed in green, and they have a hard time getting out of their own zone. Fitzgerald will skate around Tellstrom, and Fitzgerald calls his own number, coming down the right wing side, trying to find Jurich on the centering pass. A little too soft. We've seen that all night long so far for the Black Bears. This is offsides, though, with 3:51 left to go. We'll see if the Black Bears have an answer when we come back. We're taking our final media timeout of the first period. Don't go anywhere, folks. 1-0, Watertown leads. We'll see how the Black Bears respond on Fox Sports 1430.
Yeah, Brooks, coming out of the break, something I'm going to look for the Binghamton Black Bears the rest of the first period is to see if we can get a little life, a little bit of spark. Right now, it's cold, it's wet, it's rainy for the Black Bears energy level. Let's see if we can get a spark and start a fire with our top line out right now. Yates on the faceoff, Church and Kirkby on the wings. Fitzgerald and Kyle Powell at defense. Really got 5 forwards essentially out there, Brooks.
That's the voice of Alex Jones, Black Bears color commentator, and the top line out. And the linesman gets in the way. It might have worked out for the Black Bears if Kirkby can get to it. It does. 2-on-1 developing. Church, one-timer wide of the target. That would have been goal 299 in his pro career. Tyler Church across the ECHL and the FPHL. And Kirkby now getting to the loose puck. Has it stripped away, but Church trying to come away with a takeaway right in front of the Liskowitz's net. And that's the first time that we've really seen Watertown make an errant pass and let Binghamton have an opportunity. Stopping and starting now is Harabchek with it, trying to dust around his man Fitzgerald. Gingrich, a shot blocked on the way through by Powell. Good to see Kyle not afraid to block a shot, even though he's coming back from an injury where he missed over a month of time. Centering pass out in front, rebound. McVeigh makes the save. Third attempt is blocked on the way through by Fitzgerald. And Church will just throw it into the neutral zone, bouncing into the Watertown end. 2:45 left to go. First line shaking their heads as they skate off again, knowing that they had the best chance to tie this game up at 1. Mac Lewis looking for some room to operate here. Just drop it back for Powell. And Powell will quarterback the breakout for the Black Bears. Lewis misplays it just a little bit. And Bussell sidesteps his man, Anderson. Trying to pinch his man against the boards, and Bussell has it. Dropping it back for Cutting with 1 goal on the season. Scored last game as a forward, as his shot blocked on the way through. And Boyko, one of the new members of Watertown, signed this week as well. 13 dressed in white for everybody at home. Keeping track of new Wolves.
I think they're called Pups, Brooks.
Yep, Pups, Wolf Pups. Watertown back into the zone, tipped away. No, they say no icing. They say tipped on the way through. One linesman said yes, the other said no. Merkel on his backhand, gives it over for Lewis. Lewis gets the red line and will just wrap it around as Binghamton goes for a line change. Fresh bodies out on the ice. Starting line tonight, Thompson, Ivashkin, and Parker. Good one-touch passing for Watertown, but Mathieu Boilard anticipates one and throws it back into the Watertown side. Ivashkin right at the penalty box door. Coming away with a 2-on-1. Thompson, serving pass for Parker, and Liskowitz makes the save. I believe he got the blocker to it. No icing against Watertown. His coachman misplayed it at his own blue line. Comes all the way back, and 70 seconds left to go here in period number 1. Another golden opportunity for Binghamton as they're getting outshot on home ice tonight by Watertown. 1 minute left to go here in the first 20. Stretch pass for man, 1-on-2. Wrist shot, McVeigh makes the save, lost it, and then dives on top with 52 seconds left to go.
Yeah, Brooks, we've seen a little bit of life here, but still too many times feels like the Binghamton Black Bears are giving up the puck to their other players, and no one grabs the puck. Everybody's thinking, hey, we're not going to grab it. I'll let him grab it. Well, that's the issue when no one actually grabs it. However, Tyler Church had a golden opportunity down on the other side as we see a stick fly up in the air in the defensive zone.
Coachman and Harabchek get acquainted with each other off of the face-off, and Coachman just lifting the stick of Harabchek up into the air, almost sent it into the stands. Harabchek will circle the wagon back to McGuire. McGuire, though, an errant pass, throws it out of the offensive side. Watertown has to touch up. That gives Binghamton an extra possession. 30 seconds left to go. Church misplays it, and that gives it right back to Watertown. Lord tries a self-pass off of the boards. It doesn't work out. 20 ticks left to go here in period number 1. They go cross-ice for Yates, but he's offsides. Yates is going to have to touch up. 10 seconds left to go. Black Bears will have to try to get a steal to skate away with this one. Watertown knows they don't want to try anything. They'll just take it back and park the bus and go to the locker room with a 1-0 lead.
Looks like we got a little action between Gingrich and Boilar down there, Brooks.
While those two get acquainted with each other, and actually check that, they get separated behind the linesman on the way through. Watertown will be the one skating to the locker room with a smile on their face as they lead 1-0 after the first 20 minutes. And Black Bears skating a little nonchalantly to the locker room. They're not too happy with themselves after their first period performance. We'll talk all about it and more coming up on the Excite Motorsports Intermission Report. We also have former Watertown Wolf Justin Coachman, who took some time pregame to speak with us, and we will play that interview a little bit later in the Intermission Report. Don't go anywhere, folks. Excite Motorsports Intermission Report is coming up next after these messages on Fox Sports 1430 in Binghamton.
Fans, don't forget for the next Black Bears home game to wear your ugliest Christmas sweater just like the Black Bears wearing specialty jerseys. So go ahead and dust off your ugly Christmas sweaters and get your tickets now at BinghamtonBlackBears.com.
Into the slot, and Kirby scores on the one-timer.
You do not want to miss 1 minute of Binghamton Black Bear action this upcoming season. With individual game tickets as low as $10 and outstanding group rates, there is no reason to wait to get your tickets to book your group. Call 607-722-7367 or check us out online at BinghamtonBlackBears.com. Now it's time to take a look back from the previous Tully's Good Times with Coach show. Make sure to subscribe to the Binghamton Black Bears YouTube page so you can catch every show at Tully's on the Vestal Parkway.
Welcome back to the Tully's Good Times with Coach Show. I'm Brooks Hill, and now joined by Black Bears goaltender Chris Paulin. And Chris, thanks for spending some time out of your Tuesday evening and spending it with us here at Tully's.
No problem. Happy to be here, Brooksy.
Okay, so let's go get and dive into the topic. For the second week in a row, we have a player who is a guest on the show who has recently gotten a haircut, last week being Colin Fitzgerald. So go ahead and, there you go, turn to the side, show everybody, everything like that. Now, what inspired you to get this haircut, Paulie?
Well, it was getting pretty long, for one. And then I actually have a wedding soon to go to.
Okay.
Where I'm the best man, and it was the request of the groom to have this haircut. So.
Really?
Yeah. So just trying to kind of fulfill my obligation there.
Okay. See, I was in a wedding, and the request of the groom was for me to cut my hair. So normally it's in the opposite direction because it's people like us who have the long hair and a good head of lettuce and some flow. They don't want to see it at the wedding because they don't want to take attention away from the bride.
Yeah, well, these guys really wanted it, so I left it a little bit long in the back, like they said. So I think we're ready to go.
Well, that's where the party is, right?
Yeah, that's where the party is. You got it, buddy.
Okay. All right. So, Paulie, you come in a free agent acquisition. You spent some time in previous seasons with the Port Huron Prowlers and the Carolina Thunderbirds. Most recently, the Thunderbirds, where you were second all-FPHL team last season at the end of the year, 20 wins as a goaltender. But what some people might not know about you is you were coming off of knee surgery, correct? And you were dealing with an injury from the end of last season.
Yeah. So right before the playoffs last year, I had to get a surgery on my knee, and then kind of had a little issue with it. So actually, at the beginning of this year, I had to go in and do it again, and feels a lot better now and ready to go now. So 2 knee surgeries. What's going through your mind now? Was this an injury that happened on the ice? You're like, hey, something's not right right now, but I'm gonna still go on, or was no, you got to get me out of here? Is it one of the situation where you're attended to and it's oh, hey, I knew the next day that this is gone or something like that? Yeah, I knew I heard it last year in December. It was I think it was early December. Played on it and was able to kind of battle through, and then eventually got to the point where I think I pushed it a little further, and then I knew I couldn't walk at that point. So yeah, I knew I couldn't play anymore. So I had to get it taken care of, unfortunately.
Well, you signed with Binghamton a couple of weeks ago, and you've played in 2 games, 2 0-0 on the year, 1 home and 1 away. What's been the best thing about being a part of Binghamton so far?
Yeah, it's been great. There's a lot of good things. The boys have been awesome. So getting to know some of my roommates and just guys in the locker room, people in the community, it's been a lot of fun. So I think we have a really good group here. So I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Well, I know they're glad to have you in the locker room as well. You joined Riley McVeigh and Joe Shepard as the goaltending trio here in the Black Bears locker room. And you've had, like I said, 1 home game, 1 road game. You were the starting goaltender last week in Delaware on the Friday night contest. A little bit different, Delaware and Binghamton, in terms of the ice and just the sheer length of the rink.
Yeah.
And obviously, I talked to you after the game about the net coming dislodged quite a few times in Delaware. How much does, I would say, home ice advantage play into like a goaltender's repertoire or preparation for a game, or just a matter of, as a hockey player, going from one rink to another and the different qualities of ice, whether it's the beginning of a period or the end of the period, or you can't dig in as much, or the net comes off just a little bit more easy?
Yeah, it's not too big of a difference usually. With a couple of the rinks in our league, like with Delaware being one of them, they don't drill the nets. So you just use basically practice pegs. So once they come off once, they're going to keep coming off. So the way I play, the way most goalies play, you kind of like to slide hard into the post. So that kind of sucks when they keep coming off and everyone gets kind of rattled. But obviously that doesn't happen in our rink because, we have better pegs. But that's about the only difference. It's a smaller rink, and, Binghamton Delaware tends to play a little better in their own rink usually. But yeah, not too big a difference once the game gets going,
What are your thoughts on just the facilities here in Binghamton? I try to ask all the new guys that when they come into town, give them a day or two, see, like the weight room. I've seen you on the bike a couple of days when I try to sneak into the weight room a little bit when I'm all by myself, so I don't have to be self-conscious about my body. And you're there on the bike and, got the shirt draped over your head or the towel, and, you're in the go zone.
Yeah.
But it seems like you're a guy who's really taking in all of the amenities that the Black Bears and the arena have to offer.
For sure. It's an awesome facility, like you said. So we have everything we could ever ask for here. And honestly, it's a big draw speaking for myself, it's a big draw for me. Going to a program like this with, all those facilities, like you said. And obviously the weight room makes it real convenient just being right there in the rink. So, yeah, I love that.
Yeah, one of my biggest problems with my physical journey, let's just go ahead and go with that, is leaving the house or leaving work and having to drive in the opposite direction to go to a gym. But it's like, oh, hey, I just go down there after work. You don't have to leave. It definitely pays benefits.
Real convenient, yeah.
Oh yeah, and I see the guys come in sometimes early in the morning before practice starts. They're on the bike or they're lifting weights, and sometimes you see the scratches go through. When I was go through the locker room, passing out the flyers and the handouts for the night. They're cranking music back there. Full blast coming through the Bluetooth speaker, all that kind of jazz. So it's really neat, and we want to thank everybody at the Binghamton Hockey Booster Club who's donated some of the equipment that goes in there, and also their arena staff that maintains the arena even when the Black Bears aren't in town, putting events in and out. They have a great list of events coming up here pretty soon. Just check out Vision Veterans Memorial Arena. You can see their whole list of events coming up. The Harlem Globetrotters are coming back into town pretty soon, I believe actually on Valentine's Day, and I know the Globetrotters are always a big hit around here. WWE comes back for a Sunday SmackDown in January as well, so hopefully some of the Black Bears will be able to attend, as it'll be an off day, and you never know who might show up at a WWE event. You might see this guy just jump into the ring sometime and absolutely, body slam somebody
just
down onto the mat. Yeah, I would not want to. If Taylor came to a WWE event, I would start walking in the opposite direction. I'll go ahead and tell you that.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go either.
I wouldn't either. Those guys are professional wrestlers, but part of me also thinks that Taylor is as well. So, Paulie, before we let you go, just your, you joined the team. I don't want to say in the mid-season yet because we're nearing there, but we're not quite there. But you joined the team late. What are your thoughts on the team so far, as we almost approach 20 games on the year?
Yeah, I think we're improving every week. Even since I've been here, it seems like we're heading in the right direction. Guys are gelling pretty well together. Obviously, we've gotten a chance to string a few wins together, which is nice. But yeah, I think we're in the right direction. Guys are playing hard. It's one thing about this team that I really like joining on is the competitive spirit of the guys. I think the compete level is really good in the dressing room, and I think as long as you have that, you can go pretty far. So pretty excited to see where the season could go here.
And I'll ask one more follow-up question because I liked what you said. How much does playing hard in the competitiveness actually propel a team? Because sometimes you have guys who are extremely talented. My old coach used to say, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And what I get the vibe from you, Coach Gill, and the other guys I talk to, or they're on the record, off the record, is you guys right now have talent, but also you're working harder than the talent you're going up against.
Absolutely, yeah. That's huge. That's life and death, and especially in this league. And just from a goalie's perspective, the way the defense compete in front of the net, we have some really amazing two-way forwards that come back and save me goals every time I play. So, these guys have been awesome to play with. So I'm really excited. I feel if we can keep building on that, we can go pretty far here. So.
Awesome. Well, Chris, thank you. We appreciate your time here on Tuesday night. Don't go anywhere.
Spread the holiday cheer with the next Black Bears home game, as it'll be 2-for-1 beer night once again. You asked and we delivered. 2-for-1 beers on Friday, December 23rd at 7 p.m.
Power outages are a thing of the past when you have a Generac home standby generator installed by the team at American Electric. Give them a call today or visit them on the web at aegenerators.com.
If you're looking to install a beautiful, durable, and handcrafted countertop, call Atlas James Construction. The Southern Tier's most trusted stone fabrication will design and install your dream countertop and let you choose from a premium selection of natural stones like marble, granite, or quartzite. Stone or granite countertops starting as low as $35 per square foot installed. Schedule your free quote and receive a free sink with your countertop project. Call 607-275-5495.
Getting your hands on an all-new CF Moto side-by-side or four-wheeler is now easier than ever at ExciteMotorsports.com. Purchase your next power sports vehicle with our new, easy, and quick online buying experience. Browse inventory on ExciteMotorsports.com. Buy, get approved for financing and e-sign online right from your phone. Ride, have your new power sport vehicle delivered to your home the next day at no extra charge. Browse, buy, ride. Fun starts here at ExciteMotorsports.com.
Whether you're a high school or college athlete or a weekend warrior, Guthrie is the area's premier sports medicine program, offering injury evaluation, concussion management, physical therapy, and more. With a full team of providers across New York and Pennsylvania offering same or next day appointments, Guthrie gets you back in the game as quickly as possible. Call the Guthrie Sports Medicine team today at 866-GUTHRIE or learn more at guthrie.org/sportsmed.
Fans, it's that time of the year again. Binghamton Black Bears holiday packs are now on sale. For $80, you receive 4 ticket vouchers, 4 t-shirts, and an ornament. It makes for the perfect holiday present. Order online at blackbearshop.com or visit the 3rd floor hockey office. And happy holidays from the Binghamton Black Bears.
All about you make me think of good things. Good things. Like calming tempers down. Good things. And passing them around. So stand up and cheer. We're back to the beer. Good things. Share a good-natured Canadian Pilsner.
Magic 101.7.
Best radio station. Keeps getting better.
Better music selection.
Best ever. Makes me feel better.
Number 1 for music and fun.
It's like the best ever.
Magic 101.7. 100% local.
Are you looking for a new place to live? Lofts at JC is the official housing partner of the Binghamton Black Bears and the only luxury housing provider offering both 2 and 3 bedroom units, fully furnished for a modern living lifestyle. Lofts at JC is centrally located in the heart of the Tri-Cities area, located at 128 Grand Avenue in Johnson City. Housing applications are accepted online at loftsatjc.com. Once again, that's loftsatjc.com.
A wreck is a wreck. An arrest is an arrest. Alcohol, cough syrup, painkillers, sleeping pills. It doesn't matter. Impaired is impaired, and it will be prosecuted. Going out tonight? Your local police will be out too. Don't drive. Get a ride. Brought
And then take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Danbury and Watertown tied at 1 in the first period right now. Elmira leading Columbus 1-0 down in Georgia. Carolina leads Motor City in Detroit 1-0, and Port Huron and Mississippi have yet to drop the puck. That's a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, and when we come back, we'll have the second period action brought to you by our friends over at Lofts at JC. Don't go anywhere, folks. Black Bears hockey is coming up after these messages on Fox 1430. I completely forgot. I was just going to read standings. Yeah, it's not good when all your highlights are just hits. Cutting is all of these highlights.
McVay was all over the net tonight, though. He's been great.
Oh, it went off his foot. He wasn't even looking.
He's tired. His legs were moving. Like, that's not the spot you want to.
Oh, wait, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I think it went
Wait
off.
a second.
I wouldn't think it went off McVay's skate.
Welcome back to the action. Second period brought to you by our friends over at Lofts at JC, the official housing partners of the Binghamton Black Bears, offering luxury housing with no compromises. Complex has beautiful 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units, and you can fill out an application today at loftsatjc.com. And 9 seconds into the second period, Black Bears with an offensive zone faceoff as Watertown ices the puck.
Yeah, Brooke, never what you like to see off an opening face-off is the puck basically just goes straight down the middle of the ice, easy icing for the Binghamton Black Bears.
Face-off, one back by Watertown. McGuire comes into Lindahan, and he gives Brett Parker a rough ride. Parker collects himself back up off the ice, and out come the Wolves the other way. Harabchek throws it away. McVay comes out of his crease, wisely covers up, and takes a glide behind the net. And a little bit of showmanship from McVay, as he will just glide back to the crease instead of standing up. Got to get a little kick out of that.
Brooks, it's going to be interesting to see what the plan is here off the draw for the top line of the Binghamton Black Bears.
Kirkby gets control off the face-off as Yates pushed it forward. Kirkby, though, crosses the line now. Has his pass blocked on the way through by Baker. Fitzgerald will come and pinch down. Good read by Fitzgerald. Tries to get to the loose puck, but Watertown will beat him to it. And 2-on-2 come the Wolves the other way. Trevor Lord with it on his backhand. Power move to the front. McVeigh just directs it into the corner. Looked like Binghamton might thought that they had taken a penalty there for a hold, but they skate away. We continue the game at 5-on-5. Fitzgerald crosses the line on sides, through the slot and out. Has a shot that's blocked on the way through. Jurich bats it out of the air, throws a wrist shot wide of the target. Powell cannot keep it in the zone. He comes back into McVeigh's side of the ice, ups the puck over to Fitzgerald. And now Yates on his forehand through the face-off dot, and a shoulder save made by Liskowitz. Powell, a lot of room, looking for a slap pass to Kirkby. Instead, it finds Yeleny from Watertown. Back to the point now for Powell. Settle it down, and a kick save made by Liskowitz on the drive by Kyle Powell. Powell still searching for his first goal of the year. Got 10 points on the season, but all 10 come from assists. Powell does a good job of keeping it in temporarily, but Chase will beat him to it. Chase Carter, that is. CC. Alliteration name, always hard to keep track of. And now Yeleny takes a bump from Anderson. Anderson separates him from the puck. It'll come out of the zone as Maidment throws it over to Gingrich. Gingrich has a man calling for it in center ice, but a good sidestep by 44 in white. Low angle shot, easy save made by McVeigh. Fitzgerald floats it out to center ice and intercepted by Maidment. Watertown's offsides. Delaware is tomorrow night's opponent. We'll see the Thunder once again down in Harrington as Anderson comes from a low angle, has it hop his stick on a partial block, and Liskowitz traps it in the mitt right away.
Yeah, Brooks, you see a little more pep in the step of Binghamton so far in this period. It hasn't gone their way yet tonight, but this is the kind of energy you like to see from a team like the Binghamton Black Bears when they've been a little sluggish, a little cold to start out the game.
Shots are 14-8 now, and 2 aside so far in the period. Bingo trying to get the crowd energized a little bit. They say no high stick. The Watertown bench was looking for one, but the referee says no to play on. Lewis at center ice trying to scoot it up just into the offensive side, but now a pile up right in front of the 2 benches. Anderson pokes it out into a lot of free space. Bussell trying to come away with a takeaway, but he might have overskated one. Cutting, lining up for a hit against Harabchek, but Harabchek will dodge contact from Cutting right there, but take a little bit of a bump from Mac Lewis instead. Down low for Trevor Lord. He tries to get it behind the goal line, gets around Merkel, but Merkel stands his man up while he waits for support in the form of Lewis to come lend a hand. Lewis now tries to exit the zone with the puck. He cannot on first try. Tellstrom, centering pass out in front, and a big save made by McVeigh. Man was all alone in the slot. Alex, he had plenty of time to do whatever he wanted, and instead he just threw a hard wrist shot towards the target. He could have deked in and walked right onto the front door of the goal crease. Black Bears throw it all the way down. This is icing, and McVeigh really keeping the Black Bears in this one 4 minutes into the period.
Yeah, Brooks, excellent read by McVeigh to stay with that puck and slam the door shut. A miscommunication between Merkel and Cutting. Cutting goes for the man, which Merkel should have skated around, continued with the switch going to the man in front of that. Merkel did not get that message.
Our friends on YouTube just saw the Heinz Energy replay, what Alex was talking about. They left a man out in front, and another tip-in goal right off the face-off. Watertown up 2-0 as it's deflected out in front. I believe Liam Little got his stick on it, and the Wolves find themselves up by a pair for the first time this season against Binghamton.
Yeah, Brooks, just another long change goal for Watertown, taking advantage of Binghamton's tired legs out there. Good set play on the tip, gets it up to the defense, puts it out front, sticks on ice, puck in the back of the net.
The Black Bears need to find some Energizer batteries on the bench. Get back into this one. They're getting outshot at home, double it up, 16-8 as a wrist shot's put on by Coachman. Liskowitz will make the grab. And Watertown has a 2-0 lead here on a cold, rainy, and snowy day in Binghamton.
Yeah, Brooks, you need something to energize this team. There's some play that's got to get them into this game because it just seems like Binghamton's sleepwalking and they're down 2-0 early in the second period. And
Cordell Boyko getting the assist off of the set play, off of the face-off, and Coachman tries to lay a hit on one of his former teammates, and now Harabchek trying to dance around Boylar. McVeigh, I believe, got a shoulder to that puck as it hopped up on the last second. Watertown being the aggressors here in period number 2. We'll see if Binghamton can respond. They haven't yet. Still plenty of time. Watertown touches up on the delayed offsides. And now McGuire tries to dance through the entire Binghamton defense. He will not. Ivashkin, though, gets ahead of steam. Running out of real estate coming down the right wing side. Has it on his backhand. Gets pinched. Boylar, wrist shot. And Liskowitz will make the save. Thompson down low. Tries to center up, but gets it deflected out behind. Ivashkin trying to come away with a takeaway. He's unsuccessful, and the Wolves get it out of their own end. Fitzgerald will just throw it back out to the red line. Watertown rolling a change, as do the Black Bears. Long second period change for both teams as Trevor Lord crosses the line on sides. Fitzgerald didn't get in the best spot defensively. And Lord with it behind the net, centering pass out in front through the blue and out. Tyler Jurich has it hop over his stick, but Yates will take it away. Black Bears now across the line. On sides, Yates, toe drag, wrist shot save easily by Liskowitz. Back to the point. Fitzgerald, his wrist shot looking for a tip. He got one from Yates, but wide of the target. Jurich needs a friend down low to help. He's not going to get one, and the Wolves come away with another loose puck. And those 50-50 puck battles really seem to be going all in favor of the visitors here in a Friday night contest. And it looks like we have the game's first penalty. High sticking is the call. And it looks like the Black Bears are going to be headed to the Northeastern Striping Corporation penalty kill after these messages. We're sorted out. Come back with more. You're listening to Black Bears Hockey on Fox Sports 1430. They have no energy. It's time for the Black Bears to wake up here. They find themselves down by a pair. Gavin Yates in the box, a 2-minute minor for high sticking at 5:28 of period number 2, and it's the game's first penalty, which means it's also an opportunity for the Black Bears to go on the Northeastern Striping Corporation penalty kill. Watertown this year operating on the power play at just under 16%. Binghamton on the other side leads the league in shorthanded goals with 5, Alex. A golden opportunity to try to maybe energize the crowd. What is small in size tonight has been vocal. Wrist shot from the point by Tellstrom is gloved by McVeigh. Rebound is swallowed up by 30, and he will melt it down on the second shot of the power play.
Yeah, Brooks, it's going to be interesting to see how this team responds. When you've been a little bit sluggish, a huge penalty kill can give a lot of the energy to the bench. Let's see how the Black Bears respond on this penalty kill.
The forwards are Mac Lewis and Gino D'Angelo. And Justin Coachman gets control of the loose puck and throws it out down low. Now the Wolves come back. 200-foot play, Harabchek. The lefty comes down the left wing side. Skates around Boylar. Coachman will try to throw it past Brown, but instead kept into the zone. Right wing face-off, Dyke cross ice pass for Tellstrom. Thought about a snapshot, instead loads it up for McGuire. Back to Tellstrom, those two play catch. They keep doing so. McGuire, wrist shot, never made it through. It looked like D'Angelo might have blockered that one away with his hand out in front. D'Angelo, the high forward, applying pressure at the blue line. Another cross-ice pass for Tellstrom, and Lewis eats a slap shot. He's slow to get up, but back up on his feet. He's leaning on his stick. High slot pass, kick save made by McVeigh. Black Bears really need to get this puck out of the zone, and look out. Here's an opportunity. Gino D'Angelo skates away. He's at the end of his shift. Gets taken down. Crowd looking for a call. Not going to get one. And long change.
That's a little shocking to me, Brooks. Going into the legs when he has possession of the puck. An interesting no call there from the officials.
D'Angelo does get off, and Tyson Kirkby will come on. Binghamton gets 3 new bodies out on the ice. Coachman remains out there as he did not get to the bench. And now he might be able to. Yep, Coachman on a full steam ahead over to the bench. He's going to be replaced by Taylor Cutting. Watertown coming back into their own end. They have 20 seconds left to go. So far, so good for the Black Bears. Final push for Watertown. They cross the line. Trevor Lord has it separated, but they cross off sides. Linesman on the far side of the ice skates in with his hand down. Neutralized faceoff coming up. 9 seconds left to go. Get a look at the Heinz Energy replay, and you could tell that D'Angelo was just gassed, and he had already blocked a shot earlier in that shift. Maybe if he's fresh, that's a breakaway going the other way shorthanded, but he kind of got taken out from behind, not by a stick, but almost somebody blowing a tire and having a little bit of a collision going down the freeway.
Well, Brooke, tripping is not only a stick call, but can be a body as well. So you like to see the official discretion there, because that would have been a bit of a ticky-tack play. However, it was still ticky-tack nonetheless.
Penalty time is up for Gavin Yates, and the Northeastern Striping Corporation penalty kill is 1 for 1, but somehow Watertown collects the loose puck. I believe Tyson Kirkby just put it in his own net as it hopped his stick. McVeigh was not holding the post, and 3-0 Watertown with 12:14 left to go.
Yeah, Brooks, it's an unfortunate one. Yellow-Knee gets the goal there, I'm going to guess. Perhaps, I'm not sure who. I think Yellow-Knee gets a stick on it as McVeigh tries to slam the door shut. The puck's just sitting out there next to the post. Unfortunate goal for the Black Bears, who are already down 2.
3-0. Watertown leads Binghamton, and now it'll be a mountain to climb back. Ivashkin has it down low, out in front, but the Black Bears get on the board. Ivashkin had his rebound stuffed, and Brett Parker was there to collect the loose change, and Binghamton's on the board.
But Brooks, that's the kind of play you need to get that team. You need to get the Black Bears re-energized. Ivashkin crashes the forecheck, gets in behind, catches the Watertown defender sleeping a little bit, puts him into the boards, steals the puck as he loses his edge, gets it out in front, where Brett Parker's able to bury it in front, back of the net for an easy goal.
All the goals so far have been scored at even strength, and Parker right place, right time. And for 88, it's goal number 8 on the year. And now we'll see if the Black Bears can build any momentum, as that one's melted down. You got to look at Heinz Energy replay. We're 8 minutes into the period. Watertown still up by a pair, but now maybe some of the momentum shifting in favor of the home team.
I believe Watertown could not change on that one, Brooks, because it was covered from a pass beyond the midline. If I'm correct about the rules.
Correct about that, but the team Binghamton could not change. Watertown was allowed to change, and now they go the other way. Boilar has it behind his own net, throws it up for Parker, has it hop his stick, cross ice for Ivashkin. One-on-one goes Nikita. Tries to dance around Carter, but gets pinned up against the board. Still control of it for Nikita. Calling his own number. Nikita, one man showing it right now, trying to tuck it in while he was circling the net. Tipped down out in front. Penalty coming up. Ivashkin is down. Both the referees with their arm up in the air saw that one coming. Black Bears need to hold their composure right here. Not the time to take an extra penalty as they're going to the power play with a chance to make this a 1-goal game. Coachman shaking his gloves, and it looks like nobody is going to take the bait from Watertown.
I'll tell you what, Chase Carter there pulled just a dumb penalty. Ivashkin had just done an incredible job stick handling, really just embarrassed the entire Watertown defense, and Carter gives him a solid cross check to the kidney and sends Binghamton onto the power play. Binghamton has one of the most effective power plays in the league and could set them up for a lot of success on this play. I just don't see that why you would do that at this time. You have Binghamton on the ropes. Why would you take a dumb penalty that puts one of the most effective units onto the ice?
It is Larry Yellow-Knee getting the 3rd goal for Watertown. It's unassisted. And then the Black Bears goal, Brett Parker. Assist going to Nikita Ivashkin and Austin Thompson. Black Bears power play, like Alex said, 2nd in the league, as they will have to try to restart again. They're 20 seconds off the clock so far. Still plenty of time to go in this one. I have to think that the Black Bears can grab a quick one here. They're right back in the contest. They cross the line on sides, a little bit too far in front of Bussell. Bussell has to throw on the brakes inside the face-off dot. Giving it over for Anderson. Anderson, Powell, Jurich, one-timer. Missing everything, and Jurich just shakes his head. He's not too happy. He's got to get out of the zone, though. The Black Bears need to touch up. Jurich has it go underneath his stick. Just an off night, but Boylar lays a heavy hit on Rabinowitz, and now Powell will start the 200-foot breakout for the Black Bears. Jurich chips it ahead to himself as Boylar is caught in a partial line change. Yates out in front, and a chest save made by Liskowitz. Rebound high the glass. Puck becomes available in the slot, and out come Watertown with control. Brown skates away, 2-on-1, developing short-handed. McVeigh makes the save. 10:03 left to go, almost halfway through the period. Black Bears not clicking on all cylinders so far that power play, but they had half of each unit out on the ice that time, and it leads to a short-handed chance going the other way.
Yeah, Brooks, it's really unfortunate. If Binghamton has one guy standing in front of the net on that last chance, it's buried in the back of the net, and we got a 3-2 score, Watertown.
Face-off one back by the Black Bears, and now Ivashkin, good to see he's back out on the ice after taking that heavy hit, dancing around defenders, and they need to do the smart thing here, let Watertown touch up. They do, and it will be a 5-on-3 for 25 seconds as tripping is the call, and we will have a two-man advantage for the Black Bears coming up after these messages on Fox Sports 1430. A golden opportunity served up on a silver platter. A 5-on-3 for 25 seconds for the Black Bears. Step one, win the faceoff. Step two, get to your spots. And step three, try to get the defense to move.
So this is what I'm predicting, Brooks. Bussell's going to probably take the faceoff. We're going opposite circle. Okay. So I think this changes up a little bit what they want to do. Kirkby looks to be the face-off guy. You got Jurich opposite side. I think he's going to win the draw to Powell. Powell gets it to the opposite circle to Jurich. Jurich tries to play in the back of the net. And I'm completely wrong, Brooks.
You want it back to Powell. One-timer to Jurich. Out in front, though, puck becomes available on the slap pass. They were trying to go for a tip-in instead of a shot. Powell back to Jurich. High slot. Jurich slap pass. And Bussell gets denied right on the doorstep. 5 seconds left to go in the first penalty. Still 5-on-3. And now Bussell coming over. Powell cross ice to Jurich, and it fumbles off of his stick. First penalty is over. Still 5-on-4 for 1:30. Plenty of time. Don't need to panic if you're the Black Bears. Kirkby in the face-off dot. Circles back up to the blue line. Powell gets it back over to Jurich. Jurich and Powell play catch with each other. Cross ice for Anderson. A little bit too far behind Jesse. They go back through the quarterback. Crowd beginning to grow a little restless. Wrist shot deflected out. Liskowitz covers up. Bussell tries extra whack at it, and now Bussell
and Baker.
And Baker get acquainted with each other. Still 67 seconds left to go in power play time. The first unit couldn't get it done, and now unit number 2 is coming out.
But Brooks, so far in this power play, this series of power play, I'm going to be honest, unit 2's looked the best out of the two of them. And Nikita Ivashkin literally dangled the entire Watertown penalty kill at one point. So let's see what Unit 2 can bring us on this 1 minute, 7 seconds left on the power play.
Mac Lewis wins the faceoff back to Ivashkin. Thompson out there with Boylar. 4 forwards and 1 defenseman, and Boylar has it stripped away and thrown out of the zone. Crowd growing a little restless here with Binghamton. They're not used to seeing the Black Bears in this kind of a hole here at home and lack of offensive production. Brett Parker, though, flying with a head of steam. He has the only Black Bears goal in this one. Circles the wagon, gets set up, throws a wrist shot, and it hits Mac Lewis up high. Friendly fire, knocked out of the zone by Watertown, and Binghamton will have to retreat into their own end once again. 30 seconds left to go in the Trevor Lord tripping penalty.
I know what Parker was looking there for, Brooks, but you prefer to see him set up the cycle and get that puck in motion, get a better shooting opportunity than a high chip pass across the zone.
Errant pass by Thompson forces the Black Bears to touch up, and they're off sides as Jurich had not gotten back out of the zone as Fitzgerald came in. 13 seconds left to go, and a face-off coming up right outside the penalty box door.
Yeah, Brooks, an unfortunate power play so far series from the Black Bear. Couple of good opportunities, but nothing come of it. Nothing, not being able to put anything in the back of the net might haunt the Black Bears for the rest of the game.
10 seconds left to go in the penalty. And the Black Bears, who's second in the league in power play goals, only behind Motor City. And in power play percentage, looks like they're going to go 0 for 2. 1 second left to go. Penalty time is up. Black Bears, though, still in control over the puck. And Jurich has it right in front of the locker room door. He gets double teamed down low from Trevor Lord. Centering pass out in front. Liskowitz covers up. And Kirkby gets a little defensive. And the scrum will occur right to the left of the goaltender. The referees start blowing the whistle. And it looks like cooler heads are going to prevail this time.
Yeah, Brooks, things are getting more and more chippy as this game goes along. It's going to be interesting to see what goes on. Looks like Yates and...
Looks like Lord. And Yates. And now Kirkby comes in to lend a hand.
Lord in bringing the contact to Yates, who's standing in this face-off circle like, let's go, get this thing going.
Yeleny has Yates in a headlock. Kirkby's looking for a partner to tango with. Kyle Powell gets involved with a little bit of extra church. Kyle Powell, once upon a time, a former Watertown Wolf. All the meanwhile, Brown skating at center ice. See how this one's going to be sorted out. Take a look at the Hines injury replay for our friends back on YouTube. Kirkby with a little bit of an extra whack. No intent for Liskowitz. Those two played a ton of time together over the last 2 seasons.
I don't know why Brown was arguing that should be at center ice. That clear cover up by Liskowitz in the zone, and I just don't get what their thought is. Like, oh, we're bringing it out, Brooks.
Yeah, so if everybody gets involved, or if enough people get involved with it, the referees are going to bring it out of the defensive end. 7:36 left to go here in the second period. That's an okay one to take. If it's going to energize your team, maybe give you a little bit of an extra bump, you can do that. Now, Kirkby coming down the left side. Circles back. Low angle shot from Yates is easily steered away by Liskowitz. Jurich trying to center out for Yates. Out in front. Powell does a good job of holding the blue line. Wrist shot out in front. Yates, plenty of time. He sent it high. Follows up his own rebound just like a shooting guard as Powell throws it into the corner. Deflected on the way through by the Watertown defense. Yates, low angle. Paddle down by Liskowitz. No room down low. Thrown down the ice by Watertown. No icing. Fitzgerald collects the loose puck. And a grade A opportunity for Yates, and he just sent it high. Kirkby will sidestep a hit. Lay one on Lord. Fitzgerald circles behind the net. Yates, that's Jurich, 12 and 22 out in front. Trying to connect with each other. Powell gets a little bit of a screen from Kirkby. Just to stay on the basketball puns, a good pick by 17. Kirkby has to get off the ice. Binghamton almost got caught with too many men, and Binghamton will take a penalty. Out in front, Lord, big save made by McVeigh. Puck is still available though. Dancing out in front, off the post. Powell grabs it off the top of the net. It stayed out. What a sequence of events. Binghamton gets bailed out by the goaltender and the iron, and they take a penalty. 6:19 left to go, and Justin Coachman's headed to the box.
Yeah, Coachman wasn't too happy with Lord on that play either. Had some words with him off to the side as Powell is doing his best impersonation of Riley McVeigh and saving the puck as it started to bounce back towards his own cage.
Binghamton's second penalty of the contest. is going to be served by Justin Coachman. 6:19 left to go here in the period. It's a tripping call. It's a
Now, the bench, Brooks, was calling for a closed hand on the puck on Powell, but Powell never closed his hand and considered a hand pass in their own defensive zone.
Something like that. Heinz Energy replay might be showing something different. Maybe he was trying to turn two like a rumble pony would. A wrist shot never made it to McVeigh's net, blocked out in front. Yeleny with it at the blue line, has it blocked on the way through by Parker, down on a knee. Gingrich tries to go cross ice, out in front looking for a tip, and man, had a wide open net on the back door. That could have been Watertown's 4th goal of the contest. Binghamton needs to try to kill this one off, get back in it. They've climbed back in the shots on goal, out shooting Watertown this period so far. But Watertown on the power play, Lord, plenty of room, looking for a tip from Yeleny out in front. None provided. Carter toes the blue line. Throws it back across ice. Now Gingrich has it in the left face-off dot. Parker was trying to spring Thompson. Binghamton, though, has to get back defensively. They gap up. Pass is blocked on the way through, and Parker will just slap it down the length of the ice. Binghamton gets all 4 bodies off of the ice. That was over a minute shift shorthanded, and Watertown calling for somebody to come take the puck from Gingrich so he can get off and get a fresh body.
Yeah, Brooks, an interesting strategy by Watertown. They seem to have shifted a lot of their offense from when we previously saw them to getting a lot of tips on net, get guys in front of the net, throw the pucks at their stick, and we got a breakaway 2-on-1 here, Brooks.
Bussell steered it wide. He was getting heavily pressured from his left side, trying to rotate his body around, and now Brown trying to center up. Nobody home for the Wolves. Gets chipped away, still in the offensive side, and Bussell gets that puck almost off of the scoreboard and throws it down the length of the ice. He gets a much-needed rest. 3 out of 4 get off. Binghamton, though, not a little giddy up on that line change as they cross the line. Down low, 2-on-1 could be developing. Puck is available. Blue painting out. Thompson throws it off the board. Self-pass. Penalty time is up. Both teams are 0 for 2 on the power play. But this is where Watertown scored last time. Binghamton came off the power play, off the penalty kill rather, and Watertown put one right back in the net a couple seconds later. Cross ice dump in. Fitzgerald gets to it and will just steer it over for Thompson. Thompson crosses the red line, gets it over for Cutting. Cutting is going to be the high forward this time as the Black Bears are in a line change. Ivashkin will come away with it soccer style. Gets it up to his stick. And the breakout will begin. Cutting trying to find Ivashkin and Yates. Yates will just poke it away for Nikita. Ivashkin on the backhand. Trying to find any separation he can from his man. Cutting holds the line. Wrist shot on the way through. Liskowitz makes the save. And he will melt it down. A little bit of extracurriculars as Ivashkin gets acquainted with a couple of guys out in front. Thompson lends a hand. Referee pointing at Ivashkin, telling him to stop. And it looks like cooler heads are going to prevail. 3:23 left to go here in the period. Offensive zone faceoff coming up for the Black Bears. They're down 3-1 when we come back on Fox Sports 1430 in Binghamton. Welcome back to the action. Brooks Hill and Alex Jones on the call tonight. Fox Sports 1430 in Binghamton and also on the Black Bears YouTube channel. Shots on goal now, 22 for Watertown, 19 for Binghamton. A much better period, Alex, for the Black Bears, but they still find themselves down by 2.
Yeah, Brooks, we see a lot more life, a lot more talking down there by the Watertown-Binghamton bench where those two meet. It's going to be an interesting end to the second period.
Jurich in the slot has his shot blocked on the way through. Had his stick tied up a little bit. Yates gets knocked down with Liam Little. Those two will take each other out of the play temporarily. Yates on the backhand turnaround shot, blocked by the defense on the way towards the net. Kirkby gets separated from the puck. A great check by Liam Little, who is definitely not in the same stature class as Tyson Kirkby. Gotta love it when the little guy can lay on a big hit on any sport. Now Yeleny crosses the line, onside, 2-on-2, has his wrist shot blocked on the way through, follows up his own rebound. Centering pass off of the blade of Merkel. Watertown will be forced to touch up. They're off sides. And Jurich will make the play. Coachman circles back in his own zone. He turns it over, though. Again, Watertown off sides. They have to wait. Brown throws a wrist shot. Blockered away by McVeigh. And now it's Binghamton's opportunity now to separate Watertown from their goaltender. 2:28 left to go. 23 shots for Watertown. And it looks like Taylor Cutting still might be running his mouth a little bit in between the benches, trying to get the last word in as he skates over to the bench.
Yeah, Coachman too, Brooks. It's just been jawing all night, jawing all night, jawing all night. It feels like we're on the precipice of a powder keg. We can hear the spark. We can smell the gunpowder. Let's just wait for it to explode.
Wrist shot, save made by McVeigh. Out come the Black Bears. Jamie Bussell and Jesse Anderson. They cross the line. On sides. Rebound goes behind the net. Lewis, first man to it. Ties up his man Tellstrom against the boards. And man will fight for loose control over the puck. Excuse me, that's Matt Brown. Bussell and McGuire having a little bit of a discussion behind the play. And a heavy hit laid on to the defensive end. Black Bears continue play. Fitzgerald centers it back up for Bussell. Bussell wrist shot wide of the target. Puck is still available. Took a funny bounce off the boards. Nobody except for Anderson knew where it was. Anderson had all of his friends leave the zone temporarily, and Fitzgerald decides not to pinch. And it looks like we have a whistle, and looks like man is going to be sent over to the box. And then Bussell gets taken down. Powell gets acquainted with it. And Bussell gets pulled away by the linesman. Powell with the arm on. And if you're looking for something to energize the crowd, this is the one. A helmet gets tossed. McGuire has his bell rung. No official fighting yet. And Cutting and Lord over to the side haven't gone yet. Looks like Powell is the one getting separated by the referee. It looked like the Black Bears were getting ready to go on the power play before this little scuffle.
I believe that to be, I think something happened along the bench with Mann where he had his stick or his body in the bench. Coachman, it's interesting to see what's going on here, Brooks.
Now Lord and Cutting with a little bit of exchanges. Cutting drops the stick. Coachman's getting held back by the linesman and pointing a finger. If Coachman can skate away from the linesman.
Yeah, if I'm McGuire, I'm not really excited about Coachman giving me the come here motion. Not really an inviting gesture from someone like Coachman.
Coachman headed to the locker room. The referee still sorting out penalties. Tonight's officials brought to you by the Atlas
We got
James.
Mann and McGuire headed to the box for Watertown.
Gordon Laves and Kyler Spiek, the referees, have their work cut out for them. John Palenko and Michael Imperio, the two linesmen, had to do a lot of that grunt work right there, separating the two sides. 1:37 left to go. Powell was in the box for the Black Bears. Coachman's in the locker room. And two men are in the penalty box, like Alex said, for Watertown. We'll see how this one comes in the official stat sheet on federalhockey.com. And if it stands correctly, this should be at least a 2-minute power play for the Black Bears, unless they give somebody else time to serve into the penalty box for Coachman.
It's going to be interesting, Brooks, how they dice this up, how they cut this pig up, see what's going on as these referees confer how they're going to dice up the penalty minutes. You could see a bunch of offsetting penalties and then Mann added on top as the cherry on the figurative sundae. But we're still waiting for official word from the officials because you just don't know how they're going to dice this one up, Brooks.
No penalties have come through yet. Powell and trying to get a number on that.
McGuire, 24.
McGuire, 24.
So
in
this
white.
all started, Brooks, right at the blue line. Boussel's just skating off the ice. McGuire gets his skates in between Boussel's leg and kind of takes him down to the ice while the officials are paying attention to man at the bench. Powell takes offense to that, gets in his face. Coachman on top of that does not think that that's a play that should be happening. Cutting and Lord are standing there. Seems to me Lord is a little hesitant possibly of going against Cutting. And as we see on the Heinz end of the replay, not something you want, John, not something you want. Coachman pointing at you as an official, as a linesman, does everything in his power to get him off the ice.
Referee still sorting this one out. We're all out of media timeouts here for the period, so we will wait here with you on the broadcast as Tyson Kirkby is getting the explanation from Kyler Spiek.
We also have jersey number Gami over there, Brooks, 71-17.
I believe Director of Game Operations Trevor's running out of pump-up crowd music. This delay has been going on quite a while and haven't gotten an answer from
the last thing we're waiting, honestly, Brooks, we're about a minute away from hearing the Jeopardy music, I think. So we got a minor on the board for 24 of Watertown. So that's Colton McGuire. That's the only one up on the board right now.
Black Bears will be on the road tomorrow night to take on the Delaware Thunder. We'll have a look at how the Thunder are doing tonight against the Danbury Hat Tricks on the out-of-town scoreboard once we get to the Excite Motorsports intermission report. Watertown has 2 goals this period. Binghamton with 1. Watertown had a 1-0 lead after 20. They now hold a 2-goal advantage. They had a 3-goal advantage at one point, but on the next shift, Brett Parker was able to follow up a Nikita Ivashkin turnaround chance. And now we are in a long delay.
Looks like they're sending one more over to the box, Brooks. Most likely to serve for Coachman, I would guess. With the 2 penalties, it makes sense.
I actually think they're just getting the helmet of Kyle Powell.
Fix, maybe a lid that snapped or something like that. Tyson Kirkby's face did not look too excited there.
Looking for the referee to put up a hand gesture. Anything. Door's still closed for the Black Bears. 2 men sitting in the box for Watertown, 1 for Binghamton.
And it's just up on the board, Brooks. I'm going to guess Coachman got a fighting major because there's no offsetting fighting major because Watertown refused to drop their gloves. To me, a little bit of in poor taste, or no one wants to say cowardly, but some are saying it. You know, it's one of those things where unfortunately, Coachman's the only man to drop the gloves and only one to step up and man up for it. Therefore, he's going to get the major. So it's going to be a minor major offsetting. 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, and then a power play for 3, which will take us into the 3rd period.
Looks like we will be 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. Then Colton McGuire will come out of the box. We'll have all these penalties to go through by the time we get to the intermission report. That'll be part of the Binghamton that'll be the Columbia Mutual Life Insurance Company stat sheet. So we'll see what the Black Bears can do with a little bit of more open ice. Anderson, Kirkby, Boussel, and Jurich, 4 forwards out on the ice right now. Is finally Gino D'Angelo makes his way over to the penalty box and I believe to serve for Justin Coachman. Haven't seen 4 forwards on the ice all year for the Black Bears in this situation. We'll see if it pays dividends. 90 seconds left to go here in this one. Crossing the line on sides is Kirkby. Stopping and starting just inside the faceoff dot. Separated from the puck. Tries to get it down low. Boussel tried to get it, but is taken away by Carter. Anderson applying pressure. Jurich has it, and he throws a shot, and Liskowitz makes the save. Good forechecking pressure by Jesse Anderson to let the Black Bears come away with another opportunity. Anderson has it down low in the corner. Back to the point for Bussell. Takes a little bit of a late hit. Good stick handling by Bussell. Gets taken down. And Black Bears get bailed out of Dodge. And they're going on the power play, 4-on-3 with 55 seconds left to go in the period.
So we got elbowing on McGuire, roughing on man.
That's Carter Chase's second penalty of the game.
And it's always dangerous, Brooks, when you get your skates inside the other skates of the opposing player.
4-on-3. This is just like an overtime situation for the Black Bears. This is how it would be if somebody takes a penalty. You add one. Only 3 skaters on the ice for the second time tonight for Watertown. Black Bears were not able to score last time this happened. Bussell fires a slapper, blocked by Liskowitz. Anderson gets to the rebound, tries to find the man back at the point. Bussell corrals the loose puck. Skating in the right wing faceoff dot is Bussell. 30 seconds left to go in the period. Anderson in through the faceoff dot, over to Kirkby. Kirkby drops it back for Jurich. Jurich over it to Anderson. Slapper kept away by Liskowitz. Turnaround shot. Liskowitz hugs the post. Gets to the loose puck. Jurich, though, holds the line. Liskowitz's best save of the night kept this a 2-goal game. 10 seconds left to go. Jurich has his wrist shot blocked on the way through, just out of the grasp of Anderson. Anderson down low for Jurich. Final opportunity, centering pass, not in time. And the Black Bears do not convert on the opportunity. They still have some time. 4-on-3 when we get back. But after an Excite Motorsports intermission report, it's 3 for Watertown, 1 for Binghamton. They break the shutout. They get past Liskowitz thanks to Brett Parker. And now Binghamton only trails by 1 shot, but 2 goals where it matters the most. Take a quick timeout, try to get all these penalties sorted out when we come back. You're listening to Black Bears Hockey on Fox Sports 1430.
Fans, don't forget for the next Black Bears home game to wear your ugliest Christmas sweater just like the Black Bears wearing specialty jerseys. So go ahead and dust off your ugly Christmas sweaters and get your tickets now at BinghamtonBlackBears.com.
Into the slot, and Kirby scores on the one-timer.
You do not want to miss 1 minute of Binghamton Black Bear action this upcoming season. With individual game tickets as low as $10 and outstanding group rates, there is no reason to wait to get your tickets to book your group. Call 607-722-7367 or check us out online at BinghamtonBlackBears.com. Now it's time to take a look back from the previous Tully's Good Times with Coach show. Make sure to subscribe to the Binghamton Black Bears YouTube page so you can catch every show at Tully's on the Vestal Parkway.
With Coach Show, I'm joined by Black Bears head coach Gary Gill. I'm Brooks Hill. We want to thank you for tuning in on YouTube, back at home, and for all the fans here inside the restaurant tonight. Welcome. We're glad that you could be a part of this great weekend here with us. And the Black Bears are coming off of a 4-game winning streak. They will look to continue that this weekend with a home game on Friday night. It's Summer in December. That's December 16th at 7 p.m. blackbears.com/tickets to get yours now. And go ahead, and before we do that, we have a game on Saturday against Delaware, going back to the fairgrounds and the Thunderdome, as they call it. But first of all, Coach, 4-game win streak right now for the Black Bears. Things are starting to click offensively. What is the message for the team day in and day out now?
Well, we got to be better every day. We have to start playing at a very consistent high level day in and day out, and that includes our practices. Our practices should actually be harder than any game we play in right now.
Well, the Black Bears had a tough practice, to say a little bit today, none least. I was talking to some of the guys coming off the ice, hanging around the locker room a little bit, and Noticed a considerable amount of sweat coming from Tyson Kirkby's forehead, so it looks like you got through him pretty good. And don't know what happened the entire practice. I only saw about the last 20 minutes. You guys were working on your entrances into the zone and your tight passes, just from what I could pick up. But let's talk about, we're almost 2.5 months into the season now. What goes into a daily practice at the professional level right now? Because you're not just, getting chemistry down, as a lot of guys have been playing together on the same line for most of the season. Are you guys just doing things that you think, oh, hey, Watertown does this is how we're going to counter? Or is it, hey, we watched the tape from this weekend and we have to get better at X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, I think it's a mix of all of that, right? Like, we got to be better, for checking. We got to look to create more offense. We're just taking each step of the game. Like, we'll do video. I'll review video, and then we'll pick some things that I think we need to be better at. And then we also add things in because we don't want to stay stagnant and do the same thing over and over again, where when other coaches are watching our video, they can pick up, oh, they're doing this, so they can counter that. We have to have a plan B to that and plan C to that. Once they change, we change. So we constantly have tools in the toolbox.
It sounds very familiar to me from my sports background. Obviously never made it to the professional level as a player, but a lot of what goes into coaching is adjusting to the adjustments. And what is going, now that we've seen Delaware and Watertown a few times, how are we going to adjust to the adjustments that they make to us, is the way that I kind of see it coming off so far. We're getting ready to play Delaware on Friday night. You guys did respond. You guys put up 3 more goals in the third period, none of them empty net goals, I might add, to go on to win. No, I got to get that score right. You had 3, and you go on and you get 4 to make it 7-2. Didn't have my notes written down for the box score there tonight. I'm trying to remember the game not through a box score and just stat sheets, but to remember what I saw as I was calling the game live. So now you load back up on the bus, come all the way back to Binghamton, and you play the same exact team 21 hours later at 7 o'clock the next night. What time does a hockey player essentially need to be ready to go for coming off a back end of a back-to-back game?
Well, coming back from that game, we didn't get back till 3 in the morning. By the time they got back to their housing and slept or got laid down anyway, I don't know about most people, but I don't go right to sleep. So by the time they wound down, it was probably 4 in the morning, and I'm sure they slept most of the day, and they have to be at the arena at 4:45. Get there for a report time of 5, and once they step in that arena, it's time to go. So the preparation begins at that point for them. So approximately 2 hours before the game.
Okay, so about 2 hours before is when, obviously, the player is required to be back there inside the arena, and we talked about it before we started the broadcast, and where the Black Bears are going to run into almost a reverse situation this week. They're going to play a home game Friday night and then travel on Saturday. Is there a preference that you think either you as a coach or B as a player that one would have of, would you rather have the home game first or would you rather have the home game second?
I think it depends on where you're going, but like this one, I'd rather be home first because then we could play, sleep in our own beds, get up in the morning, and then travel, and then do our game down in Delaware. And there's no rush to get back because we don't have to play another game the next day. It's an off day, so certainly playing first on Friday at home and then traveling is a better situation for us.
The Black Bears will do that a couple times this year, and primarily with Delaware, it seems that we're having a whole lot of home one night, and then we're either headed to Delaware the next night or we're headed somewhere else as another opponent. And this month, the Black Bears are only taking on the Watertown Wolves and the Delaware Thunder, so a whole lot of points up for grabs in the Empire Division. Right now, the Black Bears stand in second place by 1 point. They're only behind the Danbury Hat Tricks as they trail 41-40. Binghamton with 12 regulation wins on the year. Danbury with 10 regulation wins. 5 of the Hat Tricks wins have been in overtime this season. And now Binghamton boasts a record of 13-4-2 and a goal differential of plus 29. And through the last 10, 7-2-1. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, a 4-game win streak. And I know that we talked about it last time we were here at Tully's. Don't pay too much attention to the standings right now because it's, playoff format, still get to get set. Don't know how many teams are going to qualify. But with being contending at the top right now, nearing the 20-game mark, how do you think that your team has lived up to the expectations set out in front of them?
Well, I mean, again, there's always room for growth, but I think we're doing pretty good right now. I mean, 13-4 and 2 is a pretty good record for this. There's a couple of those games we'd like to have back that we thought we should have had. Without a doubt, I thought we should have had the second game in Port Huron, and we dropped it. I think we're in a good position. We're driving the car like we stole it right now, and hopefully the next time we see Danbury, we're a little bit more prepared for them. I thought the last time we played Danbury that we held it together pretty good. The first period was really good, back and forth action by both teams, and I don't agree with a lot of things that happened in the second period, and that was the downfall period against Danbury. And you can't give them a period like that. You can't give any team in this league a whole period to come back on you. You just can't do it.
Well, the Black Bears will have their chance to get revenge on Danbury a little bit later on in 2023. We will travel to Danbury, Connecticut, and we will play a one road game against Danbury. We'll be coming off of a road game the before night against the Elmira Mammoth, so a rare weekend where the Black Bears are out of town for both days, but they'll be playing in 2 different states. But Empire Division, ton of points up for grabs right now, and especially in the month of December, and the Black Bears so far are trending in the right direction. Knock on wood 3 times. They're 4 for 4 in the month of December. They look to improve on that this weekend as they will take on the Watertown Wolves on Friday. And
Spread the holiday cheer with the next Black Bears home game, as it will be 2-for-1 beer night once again. You asked and we delivered. 2-for-1 beers on Friday, December 23rd at 7 p.m.
Power outages are a thing of the past when you have a Generac home standby generator installed by the team at American Electric. Give them a call today or visit them on the web at aegenerators.com.
If you're looking to install a beautiful, durable, and handcrafted countertop, call Atlas James Construction. The Southern Tier's most trusted stone fabrication will design and install your dream countertop and let you choose from a premium selection of natural stones like marble, granite, or quartzite. Stone or granite countertops starting as low as $35 per square foot installed. Schedule your free quote and receive a free sink with your countertop project. Call 607-275-5495.
Getting your hands on an all-new CF Moto side-by-side or four-wheeler is now easier than ever at ExciteMotorsports.com. Purchase your next power sports vehicle with our new, easy, and quick online buying experience. Browse inventory on ExciteMotorsports.com. Buy, get approved for financing and e-sign online right from your phone. Ride, have your new power sport vehicle delivered to your home the next day at no extra charge. Browse, buy, ride. Fun starts here at ExciteMotorsports.com.
Whether you're a high school or college athlete or a weekend warrior, Guthrie is the area's premier sports medicine program, offering injury evaluation, concussion management, physical therapy, and more. With a full team of providers across New York and Pennsylvania offering same or next day appointments, Guthrie gets you back in the game as quickly as possible. Call the Guthrie Sports Medicine team today at 866-GUTHRIE or learn more at guthrie.org/sportsmed.
Fans, it's that time of the year again. Binghamton Black Bears holiday packs are now on sale. For $80, you receive 4 ticket vouchers, 4 t-shirts, and an ornament. It makes for the perfect holiday present. Order online at blackbearshop.com or visit the 3rd floor hockey office. And happy holidays from the Binghamton Black Bears.
All about you make me think of good things. Good days. Like calming tempers down. Good days. And passing them around. So stand up and cheer. Well, that's gonna be a good thing.
Share a good-natured Canadian Pilsner.
Magic 101.7.
Best radio station. Keeps getting better.
Better music selection.
Best ever. Makes me feel better.
Number 1 for music and fun.
It's like the best ever.
Magic 101.7. 100% local.
Are you looking for a new place to live? Lofts at JC is the official housing partner of the Binghamton Black Bears and the only luxury housing provider offering both 2 and 3 bedroom units, fully furnished for a modern living lifestyle. Lofts at JC is centrally located in the heart of the Tri-Cities area, located at 128 Grand Avenue in Johnson City. Housing applications are accepted online at loftsatjc.com. Once again, that's loftsatjc.com.
A wreck is a wreck. An arrest is an arrest. Alcohol, cough syrup, painkillers, sleeping pills. It doesn't matter. Impaired is impaired, and it will be prosecuted. Going out tonight? Your local police will be out too. Don't drive. Get a ride. Brought to you by your New York State Stop DWI program.
1025 The Vault. Classic hits. 1025 The Vault. We are 100% local.
Santa Claus is coming to Binghamton on December 23rd at 7 p.m.
Oh my God!
Don't forget to get your tickets now for the Ugly Christmas Sweater Game and come get your picture with Old Saint Nick.
I know him!
Three, two. There's a lot of time left in the third period at that point to get that final goal. And you just need to keep up the physical play. Watertown's been trying to draw them into everything tonight, and it's worked a little bit, but let Watertown make the mental mistakes. Let them make the bad mistakes. If you're going to allow them to do that, you're going to get more and more power play opportunities, which is what this team excels at. Second in the FPHL in power play points and power play percentage. So you got to try to draw those penalties. Let Watertown make the mistakes. You can't make those mistakes. Finally, you got to help out Riley McVeigh. Riley McVeigh has been all over the place tonight. He's been everywhere. He's been standing on his head, and he let in 3 goals, 1 on possibly 2 on own goals. You got to help him out here this period. Keep pucks out of the crease, out of the slot. Don't let them get those easy rebounds. Make Watertown earn every inch of the ice, because so far Watertown has been able to basically do what they want in the offensive zone, and they really need to get after it.
We're come back with more on the third period, brought to you by American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Don't go anywhere, folks. Third period coming up next on Fox 1430.
So Bussell cutting Kirk.
Welcome back to the third period here on Fox 1430 in Binghamton and on YouTube here at home. Third period is brought to you by American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. They are built to a higher standard. It's still a 4-on-3 as we get set for the period, and Black Bears calling a little bit of an audible, had Cutting lined up on the wing, chipped away. And here come the Black Bears going the other way. They cross the line on sides, 4-on-3, Cutting the trailer, joins the play. And Jurich's slapper, puck becomes available out in front. They hack and whack at it. And Cutting out in front, just using his big body, taking up some space. 6 seconds left to go on the 4-on-3.
That's a great opportunity for the Black Bears. Clearly what they wanted, getting Cutting and Bussell in front of the net. Cutting to screen, Bussell to clean up the rebound. You have to wonder there, maybe if Bussell's the opposite hand he is, that puck's in the back of the net.
Kirby wins the face-off. Bussell tries to get into the high slot, but it's stripped away. Bussell's going to have to get on his horse to get back. In alone, partial breakaway. McVeigh makes the save on the way through. Matt Brown absolutely robbed. Black Bears do not score. 4-on-3. And now we go back to 4-on-4 for 30 more seconds. And then Watertown will have the power play. So Black Bears power play falls to 0 for 3 on the night. Crossing the line, Thompson, wrist shot, shoulder save made by Liskowitz. I don't think he thought he made that one. Ivashkin in the slot, running into a brick wall. Paddled down by Liskowitz on the attempt from Thompson. Getting ready to come out of the box is Carter, and now Yeleny. Wrist shot, McVeigh makes the save. Rebound becomes available, but steered behind the net. Cutting separates his man away from the puck. Power play now for Watertown as Carter comes out of the box. Ivashkin getting caught on the penalty kill, now brought to you by Northeastern Striping Corporation, but Nikita gets off the ice. True penalty killers coming out. Black Bears now have to kill off 2 minutes of power play time, and that is when Kyle Powell will be released from the penalty box. Excuse me, that's when D'Angelo will be released. Next whistle, Powell will be released for the 4-on-4.
Yeah, Brooks, an unfortunate miscommunication there. Briefly, it was a 5-on-3 for Watertown. Binghamton didn't have a fourth defender out on the ice to help with the penalty kill.
Rabchek just glides it into the zone. McVeigh covers up. 91 seconds left to go.
Smart play there from McVeigh. Brooks, melt that down, grab the puck, let yourselves get a change, get reset, allow yourself to get that puck down the ice and kill more time. It also allows you to get one of your alternate captains and Kyle Powell out of the box, who's one of your better penalty killers.
He certainly has a lot of time shorthanded, even though he was out for a month this year. Black Bears win the face-off back. Mac Lewis does a good job of getting it to Boilar. Boilar will just throw it all the way down the ice. Black Bears will set it back up. They trail by 2. Plenty of time. If you kill this penalty off, you definitely have the momentum on your side. They've had a shorthanded opportunity, and we'll see if Watertown will just take another penalty and then effectively erase. Slapped around the boards by Fitzgerald, though, kept in by McGuire. Lewis gets to it. They say it stays in the zone. Boilar will backhand it out. Goes all the way behind the goal line, and fresh bodies coming out for the team dressed in green.
Looks like Tellstrom got hit with his own stick in the throat there. Brooks came off very slow to the bench.
Cannot feel good. I'm a big Adam's apple guy. If you see me in person, anytime it gets touched, breath goes away. Puck available behind the net. And Kirkby losing control of it. He gets pushed down into the boards. Cutting pushes his man in retaliation. Referee says play on. Good poke check by Powell as he makes his way out of the box.
Cutting lets man know he's there, and I'm the one that did that to you, brother.
20 seconds left to go. D'Angelo already up and ready, looking for an indication from the penalty box on where to go. Powell deflects that one into the stands. That one gets about halfway up. This is a neutral zone face-off. Looks like everybody's okay. And a good poke check by Powell. 9 seconds left to go in the penalty. Served by D'Angelo from Justin Coachman.
And the lucky fan in Section 1's going home with a puck. I think that landed about row H. That came off Powell's stick incredibly hot. A lot of speed out of out over the glass into the stands.
9 seconds left to go in the penalty, one back by the Black Bears. If they get it out one more time, that ought to do it. Thompson just holds it up against the boards. Merkel giving a little bit of a rive, and we have a penalty coming up against Watertown. This should be interference. D'Angelo, though, is out of the box. 3-on-2 for the Black Bears if they hurry. D'Angelo circles the wagons, trying to get to the far post. Watertown touches up, and the Black Bears are going right back on the power play. Looks like we got a roughing call from the trail referee.
Yeah, that's going to be a Merkel hit, put a good hit on the top of the play there, and Belcano just reacted, unfortunately. Belcano for Watertown reacted, got Merkel up high, and that's going to be a penalty almost every single time the officials see it, Brooks. Like we said, though, in the intermission, you got to let Watertown make those mistakes. They're going to make mistakes like that. They're a team that often takes some cognitively deficient penalties, and Black Bears look to win this draw as the puck gets on Jurich's stick.
They do, and Powell will reverse it down low for Bussell. It's Tony Policino taking the roughing penalty against MJ Merkel. Now down low. Kirkby doesn't have a lot of space to make a pass, finds a window, gets it over to Bussell, but Jurich had it hop over his stick. Jurich has to back check Brown, and now shorthanded go the Wolves the other way. Jurich not having one of his better nights so far, still searching to extend his point streak. Now Kyle Powell crosses the line. Left for Bussell. Bussell back over to Anderson. Anderson to Kirkby. Kirkby reverses it back for Anderson. Wrist shot blocked on the way through, out of the zone. Minute 10 left to go on the penalty.
An excellent block by Lincoln Gingrich there. Gets his skate out and actually in the motion of blocking it, kicked it out of the zone.
Kirkby circles the wagons and new bodies coming out onto the ice. Almost too many men once again for the Black Bears as Powell kind of nonchalantly skated over to the bench. Power play unit number 2. Brett Parker, the goal scorer for Binghamton, gets into the zone, hits the linesman with the clear-in attempt, but does get it down low for Ivashkin. Ivashkin stopping and starting 3 Black Bears behind the net as Jurich is still out on the ice. Watertown gets to the loose puck. They throw it all the way down. McVeigh touches up. Jurich gets over to the bench, slams the door on his way off of the ice, and the Black Bears begin to go the other way. Turnover, though, as Yeleny just throws it back into the neutral zone. Crowd beginning to grow restless with the Black Bears play tonight. Turnover, though. Down low, centering pass for Yeleny. Out in front, McVeigh has to make another shorthanded save to keep this game where it is. Ivashkin now crosses the line and finds its way to Parker. Parker has a wrist shot. Go over the head of Liskowitz and off the glass. Penalty time is up. Black Bears have not scored on the power play yet. Thompson had to get off the ice before Merkel could play that puck. And Binghamton, another power play trip comes unsuccessful off of the ice. Slapped into the zone above the net, and Boilar stopping and starting behind his own net. Just seems to be one of those nights for Binghamton where the bounces aren't going your way. They've had some opportunities. Jurich throws it into the open corner for Kirkby. Kirkby settles it down on his backhand. Gets behind the net. Takes a little bit of a rough ride down to the ice, maybe trying to sell a call.
Brooks, I don't think so. That really looked like that one stung up on Kirkby. Kirkby's limping off to the bench right now. Got his knee folded up underneath him.
Ivashkin comes on for Kirkby. And in center ice, Ivashkin having a hard time getting control over it. He does saucer it over to Merkel. Gets to the red line. Merkel crosses the line, tries to drag around a defender. No quarter given right at the line, though, by the Wolves. 28 shots for Watertown, 27 for Binghamton. 13 minutes left to go here in this one. Lines are now jumbled up as Kirkby, for the moment, is unavailable for the Black Bears. Gavin Yates skating into the zone. Has it on his backhand. Tries to find Ivashkin on the backhand pass. He and Jurich will both skate away. Fitzgerald pinching in. Ivashkin back over to Yates. Binghamton trying to do the most right now, just trying to get it down deep. Ivashkin taken down to the ice. Binghamton looking for a call again. They didn't get it. Parker soccer styles one over to the blue line. And Fitzgerald blows a tire. McVeigh has to come out of his net. The goaltender has to pass it to the defenseman. Fitzgerald does get it out of the zone, trying to find Ivashkin. They say icing Crowd's not going to
Oh,
like it, but
Brooks,
it's not
that
going
is-
to change their mind. Ivashkin thought he was in a good spot. Linesman,
I think
he took an extra second to come in, and now the referee's saying something in center ice.
Brooks, I do not agree with that icing call at all. Ivashkin had established position, got in front of his defender, beat him to the puck. Those are the exact criteria for calling off an icing.
Well, that takes us to a media timeout. 12:27 left to go. More after these messages on Fox Sports 1430 in Binghamton. Welcome back to the action. 12:27 left to go here. Black Bears still with a good amount of time up on the clock. And now we're ready to go. Almost thought that there was going to be too many men call. Liskowitz has to come out of his net, turns it over for Thompson, tries the backhand off his former teammate. That would have been a goal that would have let the roof off of this place as it's flicked out into neutral ice. Black Bears vying for every chance they can get. Slapped in, cross ice dump in. D'Angelo can't hold the line. He gets tattooed on the way through. Lewis gets a little hit on Maidment, and Watertown now looking for a late hit call. As they bark out to the officials, it gets deflected, I believe, off the linesman into the bench. And this might come back into the offensive side for Binghamton. I think that's where the linesmen are getting together. And they're skating into the zone, and Binghamton with an opportunity with an offensive zone faceoff once again.
Yeah, Brooks, this is a huge offensive zone faceoff for the Black Bears. One thing I've noticed, though, Watertown's getting their skates into Ivashkin's space every single time he tries to dance around them. Shot on net, Brooks. Beautiful shot for the Black Bears.
Watertown, though, gets to the loose puck off the rebound, but an excellent back check by Mac Lewis to come away with the puck. D'Angelo overskated, but now he has control behind the net. Tries the backhand one out in front to Lewis. They try to poke at it. Both teams turning it over right now in the zone. Still on sides with the Black Bears as it finds the stick of Jesse Anderson. Anderson on the backhand. The lefty stopping and starting near the goal line. Tries to get down low for D'Angelo. Instead, Mac Lewis has D'Angelo out in front, rolls off his stick. Here comes Boylar out in front, Anderson, but Liskowitz makes an amazing save. Lewis lays a heavy hit, takes exception to the opportunity. Black Bears third line generating a lot of chances right now, trying to get the crowd back into it.
That's going to be
Thrown
icing,
all the
Brooks.
way down. And the linesman very quick to jump the gun on that one. He went Olympic style and made the call before Taylor Cutting was even at the blue line. That was almost no touch icing.
It's pretty close, Brooks. I mean, an interesting thing there, Mac Lewis, after getting the boards earlier, quickly went back to the bench. It's unfortunate when you see those kinds of things after a great shift by the energy line for the Black Bears. Binghamton Black Bears looking like they're going with a timeout, Brooks. Timeout Watertown.
I believe
the tired legs of
Watertown,
Watertown getting a little extra break there.
That's a smart play for Watertown. 10:53 left to go in the period. Coach Esso calling his first time out as a Watertown head coach, trying to start 1-0 in his coaching career with
Our
the
friends on the
professionals.
video end, Brooks, just saw the Heinz Energy replay. Jesse Anderson had all of the cage to shoot at, and unfortunately just put it right into Liskowitz's blocker as he reached back for it. That's going to haunt Jesse Anderson for the rest of the night, maybe the rest of the week.
Not going to get much more of an open net, and sometimes that's just the way it's been going for the Black Bears tonight, unfortunately. But now, reset. Watertown's out of timeout for the rest of the game. So now if you can generate another goal, you have the momentum. You're now out shooting Watertown 30-28. Set play off the face-off, and Yates fires it right on net, and that'll get 5 new bodies out on the ice.
Yeah, Brooks, I'm not sure on that quick play. That gives Watertown a great opportunity to get a change. I think you want to cycle that puck, really get a shot at getting those tired bodies moving, making their legs move in concrete and forcing them to do what they want.
Brown gets ushered out of the faceoff dot. Black Bears trying to say that was the second infraction. It was the first. Watertown has the winger come in, take the faceoff. Tellstrom wins it back, and they fling it out of the zone. Powell almost got ran into by Tellstrom, has to throw it over to Merkel now as the defensive pairings get jumbled up as Coachman not continuing this game. Jurich crosses the line, on sides, but too soft of a pass, and now Watertown goes the other way. Brown waits up for teammates, but a good hit by MJ Merkel, separating his man from the puck, taking away the odd man opportunity. Now Harabchek backhands it in down low. Powell with a poke check at it. Black Bears playing a lot more aggressive this period as it finds the stick of Tyler Jurich. Jurich goes D to D to Powell as Yates crosses the line on sides. Back over to Jurich in the slot. Snapshot. Liskowitz makes the save. And now Maidment trying to spring a leak in the Black Bears defense. Comes up unsuccessful, but Jurich touches the puck. Black Bears are offsides. 9:50 left to go. Take another timeout. Black Bears slowly but surely running out of time in this one. They find themselves down by 2. More to come on Fox 14:30 after this. Welcome back to the action. 9:50 left to go here. Watertown called their timeout with 10:50 left to go in the period as the Black Bears trying to salvage a comeback here. They're out shooting the visitors 32-28. They lead by 4 in the shots column, but where it matters the most, Watertown's still up by a pair.
Yeah, Brooks, Watertown's done an excellent job of shutting down the offensive chances. Binghamton's been so close, it just feels like they are just, once that dam breaks, it feels like it's going to turn into a full-on flood.
Thompson, the center for this starting line. Set play, they get it to Ivashkin, who was acting as a defenseman. Matched up against Little. Ivashkin gets double teamed, turnaround shot wide of the target. Fitzgerald, though, comes in from the blue line. Gets replaced by Parker as Fitzgerald tries to circle the wagons. Keeps control of the puck, steers it down low, but Ivashkin's not in the spot to corral it. It's a turnover, and the Wolves go the other way. Black Bears trying to go for their 5th straight win. They're going to need a comeback here in this one. Heavy hit laid on by Boylar as the puck becomes available up in the air. Black Bears are off sides. They got to wait for Parker to touch up. They do. Thompson throws it in, and Parker first man to it down low. Overskates it, and Boyko flings it out to neutral ice. Boylar just has to steer it away as Fitzgerald crosses in his own end.
We got a penalty
coming up. Another tripping call against Watertown. That could be Chase Carter's 3rd tripping call of the game if that's him.
I don't think so, Brooks. I think it's going to be yellow knee. Larry now yellow knee. Getting his stick a little too active there, catching the feet of Fitzgerald that he tried to blaze down the right wing, trips him up, and this is going to be a huge power play opportunity for the Black Bears. They want to climb back into this game. They need to put a puck in the back of the net right here.
Referee in the Binghamton zone made that call right in his line of sight. you think the Black Bears think about calling timeout on special teams opportunity right here to try to draw something up or a set play, and Powell wins the faceoff back, or hold that thought. Jurich replaces him. Powell circles the faceoff dot. Cross over into Yates in the high slot. Not a lot of room for a one-timer there. Watertown tries to get the loose puck. Fumbled, but not out of the zone. Black Bears hold the line. Powell, wrist shot. Might have caught Boussel's stick on the way through. Liskowitz covers up, and he squeezes the wickets.
Unfortunately, too big of a deflection by Boussel. You never know how it's going to jump off your stick. He was hoping for a low angle there that skips right over the shoulder of Liskowitz, who is already committed down the butterfly. However, unfortunately, drops right down into the breadbasket, and he melts it down to draw the face-off.
Face-off one back to Anderson. Throws it over to Jurich. Watertown overcommitting very high to the guys on the point. Boussel tried to one-tap it to his forehand. Out in front, hops over his stick. Boussel, though, finds Powell down near the goal line. Tried to go cross ice for Yates, and he doesn't get everything he wanted on the shot. Watertown's able to fly the zone. A minute 15 left to go. We'll see if the first power play unit stays on the ice. They do. Fresh bodies, though, for the penalty kill for Watertown. Boussel drops it back for Jurich. Jurich has his pass blocked on the way through. Powell tries to soccer it, fanned on by Carter. Anderson gets shoved away from the puck, but that works out for the Black Bears as they still have control. Anderson loses it, gets to the blue line, and Harabchek skating away, but a great wrap check from Gavin Yates. Centering pass out in front, shorthanded. Watertown scores.
Yeah, Brooks, Carter's really lucky there. He didn't draw a penalty. Took a swing and almost got Jurich right on the kneecap, and it ends up being in the back of the net for Watertown.
A shorthanded goal, the first special teams play of the game. That could be the dagger. 7:41 left to go here in this one. Boussel doesn't get back far enough. One gets past McVeigh. And looks like Kirkby is going to go to the locker room, hobbling over on one foot. Tyson Kirkby's night might be done. Black Bears down to 9 forwards. Second power play unit now is getting its opportunity to get out on the ice. Lewis crosses the line on sides, head of steam. Has it on its forehand, doesn't have a lot of room. And Thompson has it knocked away, and bad turns to worse. Another shorthanded breakaway going the other way. McVeigh shuts the 5-hole, and Black Bears not on the same page offensively tonight, Alex.
No, Brooks, it's really a series of unfortunate events. Nikita Ivashkin keeping the puck moving here.
Down low there, Boilar. Centering pass out in front. Hack and whack from D'Angelo through the blue paint and out. Kept in, though, at the line by Thompson. Penalty time is up. Shot blocked by Liskowitz, and Liskowitz comes out of the crease to poke it away. Another opportunity going the other way for Trevor Lord. Has his shot blocked away by McVeigh. Coming out of the zone, Ivashkin skates over to the bench. Under 7 minutes left to go. Lord touches up. Partial breakaway, and he gets separated from the puck by Merkel. Time running out for the Black Bears. They now find themselves down by 3. D'Angelo has it on his forehand, trying to find Anderson. It's in the skates and not the stick. Out into neutral ice as Fitzgerald will collect the loose change. 6:15 left to go here in the third period. Fitzgerald will have to circle around his own net, try to get some separation. Back to 5-on-5 on the ice. Fitzgerald throws a pass right into the skates of the defense from Watertown. Jurich, though, down low. Separated from the puck, had nobody to pass to. And Watertown just throwing it out to neutral ice. Fitzgerald now and Merkel playing together for what I think is the first time tonight. And Fitzgerald crossed the line on sides with Jurich. Wrist shot, blocked away by Liskowitz. Jurich not in a spot to grab the rebound. Trailing is the play is Lord, and Merkel throwing it over. Missing Ivashkin and Parker. Icing's called. 5:24 left to go, and the frustration starting to set in for the Black Bears.
It's one of those times, Brooks, where everything's going wrong. You know, just everything has gone wrong for the Black Bears tonight. Every 50-50 puck, every little skip that could happen off the stick just not right now in the Black Bears' favor. A lot of tired legs on this draw, Brooks.
Black Bears get it out of their own end. That is some good news. Makes its way back out to neutralize. McGuire just flings it in, and MJ Merkel will get it out of the zone. No icing. Black Bears can change if they want to. Merkel with a little bit of extra words for Trevor Lord as they make their way out of the zone. Purcell will flick it into the open corner, trying to give his guys some time to get in. McGuire tries to backhand it out. Powell tries to find his man Ivashkin on a no-look centering pass. Black Bears, though, cross the line, back on sides. Ivashkin had it, but lost it. Good back check by Harabchek, who's getting peppered by Ivashkin with the stick. Powell acting as the high forward right now. As this puck's thrown into the zone, this is icing against Watertown.
Brown not happy on the bench, Brooks, with that icing. Slamming his stick down and down. Really making a loud noise there.
4:34 left to go. Black Bears are going to need a miracle of a comeback in this one. Fox Sports 1430 has the rest of the action when we come back. Welcome back to the action. 4:34 left to go. Black Bears giving up a shorthanded goal in the period. Special teams will be the story for the Black Bears tonight, as they were not able to convert on the power play, and they give up a shorthanded goal. And that is the second shorthanded goal of the season for the Wolves. Bates tries to win it forward, but Watertown escapes the zone with it instead. Harabchek will just get it past the red line, go off for a change. Tellstrom, first man in, gets separated by Powell from the puck. And Tellstrom slaps one into the zone, and McVeigh comes out, sets it up on a tee for Boilar. Yates loses an edge and neutralizes. They try to fight for it. Boilar crosses the line, though, on sides. Jurich is covering his spot down low, and Boilar with a heavy hit. Yates with the centering pass. Jurich out in front. He scores. Goal number 299. 4 minutes left to go. This one's not done yet.
Yeah, Brooks, so we got a little after action as well. One of the Watertown players threw the puck at Jurich while he was celebrating the goal. An interesting thing I noticed as well, Boilar in the corner, that was not a hit, Brooks. What happened was they both raced in the corner, tried to chip the puck. As Boilar's momentum took him, he almost ripcorded the Watertown player, who spiked hard into the ice. And I believe that's goal 399 for Tyler Jurich as well.
299.
299.
We're not that far yet.
Not that far yet.
One away from 300. Stayed with the play. Boilar made the hit down low. Centering pass out in front. And Jurich finishes with an empty net. Still got some discussions going on between the two benches, as it looks like Coach Esso wants to send a new line out there on the ice. 4 minutes left to go.
I was going to say, Brooks, it's a bold strategy. Let's see if it works out for him, playing two players on the ice against Binghamton's 5. Got timeout Binghamton, Brooks. Coach Gary Gill using his timeout to reconvene the troops, bring them in.
3:59
this game
left to
turns
go
wildly
here.
around with the Tyler Jurich goal. It makes it a 4-2 affair. That's a lot closer than it had looked even up to that point. Even with the shorthanded goal, it's a tough spot for Watertown to be in, with Binghamton getting a lot of the momentum. A timeout here lets them get some more gas in the tank for this final push. Probably looking to pull Riley McVeigh with a little under 2 minutes left. We've seen a lot more aggressive strategies from coaches at the highest professional levels, and it's starting to make its way down to our level as well. Pulling the goalie with like 3.5 left. So it'll be interesting to see what the strategy is from Coach Gary Gill with Riley McVeigh to end this game.
If anything, it just gives the Black Bears a little bit of opportunity to catch their breath, get their heart rates back down. 4-2. Tyler Dirge now extending his point streak to 45 games dating back to last season. Has goal 299 on his career. This is thrown down the length of the ice, and icing coming up against Watertown. So, opportunity for the Black Bears to reach into the bag of tricks off the set faceoff, and it looks like they're going to pull McVeigh with 3:50 left to go.
Like I said, Brooks, it's becoming much more commonplace to pull the goalie early and get very aggressive on the face-off, trying to get an extra man in there. Because here's the thing, what's the difference between an extra man goal with 3:50 left versus 1:50 left, Brooks?
Face-off won back by the Black Bears. Powell slap pass over to Merkel. Merkel has his wrist shot blocked on the way through. Black Bears, though, first team to it. Lewis has it stripped away, finds its way to Jurich down low. Bussell looking for a friend to pass to, finds Jurich down low. Black Bears try to start working a cycle. 3:30 left to go in this one. Cutting separates his man from the puck. Penalty coming up. And it looks like they're going to call Cutting for a penalty. And looks like Kyler Spiek skates right over to the penalty box, and Mac Lewis with a little bit of words. And 3:20 left to go. That'll take away the extra man opportunity. And take a look at the Heinz Energy replay here. Let's see what this could be. Puck is right there. And Lewis is skating away with it, but
unless it's a checking from behind call, I don't see it. The Watertown player, Cole McGuire, is going for that puck. He is an active participant in the play. Cutting makes a play on an active participant who's going after the puck. I just don't get the call there, Brooks. I mean, he's not interfering in the play because he was an active participant going for the puck. I don't see what the penalty is there, personally.
It's interference as it comes in on the stat sheet. I guess you could say maybe because Mac Lewis had the puck when the hit occurred.
But the puck was currently dispossessed in the corner. When Cutting engaged in that hit, the puck was currently dispossessed by either team, meaning that is a neutral puck. Colton steps up to try to play that puck. Cutting's playing him, which is a legal play.
Look out, shorthanded opportunity though coming for the Black Bears. Here comes Nikita Ivashkin, penalty coming up against Watertown. And it looks like Binghamton will have an opportunity to have an extra man.
You know, Brooks, this is going to be interesting. 4-on-4 gives you a little extra room on the ice. It's actually going to be basically a power play for the Binghamton Black Bears. And then they'll have an extra man for the 10 seconds after that. Not to mention, Brooks, this might be a little more advantageous for the Black Bears because if the Black Bears happen to score, that does not end the penalty for the Watertown Wolves, meaning that they'll essentially have a power play for as long as for 1 minute and 50 seconds.
They call Gingrich for interference. And they have a penalty called against Watertown, playing the puck off the faceoff with the hand. You can't do that anymore. 5-on-3 opportunity coming up for the Black Bears while the net is empty. So 4-on-3 realistic. You could even put McVeigh back in the net if you wanted to, because now Watertown will be able to ice the puck for free. So it's a catch-22. Go back to 4-on-3, a lot of ice. But now Watertown has the opportunity to ice it for free.
Also, Brooks, this is a huge call because Brown is one of the best face-off men for the Watertown Wolves, specifically their penalty kill.
Face-off delay of game. First time we've seen that this season. They work it down low. Jurich out in front. Liskowitz closes tight and doesn't let it leak through.
Also, McGuire getting a bit of talking to from the official. He gave a nice little slash on Jurich's ankle right at the bottom of his stick. Officials gives him a warning, like, if I see that again, I'm going to have to call it.
closing the hand on the puck is the official. A good old CHP in the score sheet. George, a one-timer. Bussell jumps over it. Liskowitz made the save. Puck down low for Ivashkin. Now seeing some time out with the first power play unit. 2:50 left to go. Powell has it set up on a tee. Slapper wide of the target. Bussell collects the rebound. Plenty of time for the Black Bears. No need to rush. Net's vacated for Binghamton. They find Bussell. Down low to Ivashkin. Centering pass out in front. Liskowitz makes the save. Rebound becomes available. Jurich tied up behind the net. Anderson, first man to it. Back over to Powell. Powell back over to Anderson in the left wing faceoff dot. Cross ice for Ivashkin. Wrist shot blocked on the way through. Makes its way back to the inboards. 2:20 left to go. Powell inside the blue line. Top of the umbrella. Has his shot blocked on the way through. Backhand pass from Anderson out in front. Had Ivashkin on the back door, but they miss it. Plenty of time still left to go. Jurich settles it down. Back over to Powell. Top of the umbrella. Jurich, a one-timer blocked. Powell and Ivashkin trading spots. Jurich calls for it. Ivashkin gets it back. Under 2 minutes left to go. His shot blocked on the way through. They throw it the length of the ice. Bullseye. And Watertown gets the 5th goal of the game with 3 men on the ice. That's the risk you run if you pull the goaltender. They had some chances. 1:50 left to go. Watertown gets an empty net, short-handed goal, and they have a 3-goal lead with 1:50 left to go.
Yeah, Brooks, just an unfortunate play for the Black Bears. You hope you could get a 6-on-3 there. There's 26 seconds left in the penalty to cutting, and you really hope that you could hopefully get a 6-on-3 advantage there. However, the puck goes all the way down the other end of the ice, puts it in the back of the net.
Black Bears find themselves down by 3 once again. Looking like their win streak was going to come to an end tonight. They throw it down the length of the ice here, and it's no icing. Just 90 seconds left to go. Second power play unit back out there. D'Angelo filling in for Ivashkin, who was just out on the ice for a very long time. Parker crosses the line, finds Lewis. D'Angelo's out in front all by himself. Had it hop over his stick at the last second. D'Angelo down low. Has it at his feet. Man comes out of the penalty box. Merkel paws it down, throws a wrist shot, puck in the blue paint. It gets out. Watertown clears it out of the zone. And they come away 2-on-2. Brown stopping and starting. Wrist shot blocked away. And now D'Angelo finding cutting in neutral ice. 50 seconds left to go here, and it looks like the Black Bears are going to drop their 4th game of the season on home ice as Merkel sends Lord into the bench. Lord just shrugs it off like, come on, man. Ivashkin back out onto the ice. Plays on sides. Lord takes a look up at the video board. Stretch pass for Yeleny. No icing. Referee says play on.
I mean, Brooks, he called that one on Ivashkin. I mean, that's the same situation.
Black Bears will try to get back in the win column tomorrow night as they take on the Delaware Thunder at 7 p.m. 10 seconds left to go here in this one. Cutting has a wrist shot, and Liskowitz will get one final save. Maybe 2. Gets deflected up into the netting. 4 seconds left to go. All but a formality now at this point. Don't forget, folks, we have the La Quinta Inn and Suites postgame show coming up following tonight's contest. We'll recap this one. Maybe try to think about where this one got away from the Black Bears. And get you set up for tomorrow night as the Black Bears will be on the road in Delaware. It's the final horn as it goes. Black Bears fall at home by a final count of 5-2. We'll have the La Quinta Inn and Suites post-game show after these messages. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're listening to Fox Sports 1430 in Binghamton.